Who is ready for a very hype Super Metroid Link to the Past 1v1 tournament?
It sounds like you are, Rick.
I think I am. I just want to get this information out here real fast. Presented to you thanks to our friends at Rank 1, who is helping to fund this tournament. We have Alucard, we have apathyduck, we have me, we have Cross Product. We are starting. Let's go.
All right.
There. Now that we got that out of the way, what do we want to look forward to from both of these runners? Do you know their history?
I definitely am close with Alucard2004. I've been playing randomizers with him for about 5 years. He does all different kinds of Super Metroid randomizers, Link to the Past randomizers, Ocarina of Time randomizers. Seen him do a little bit of free Enterprise, Final Fantasy IV as well. But I think that his expertise is going to lie in just pure randomizer experience and knowing what to expect from a seed as it unfolds.
So we start this seed off here. Both runners are heading into a Link to the Past immediately to check and see what was on Hylia Island. Now checking at the home, nothing in either of those locations. So you've been able to see a lot of these combo races. What do we normally look forward to in the first 20 or 30 minutes of this race?
Morph Ball, really. I mean, about 90% of Super Metroid is locked behind the Morph Ball. So depending on where that is, it'll either be early loaded in Link to the Past checks or early loaded in Super Metroid checks, right? So I think that Alucard may have a little bit more experience in Super Metroid than Link to the Past, but he's definitely well-versed in both. apathyduck, I think... chat might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think apathyduck might lean a little more toward Link to the Past. But I know that they're both well-versed in both runners. In fact, in apathyduck's last round, he actually defeated the creator of SMZ3 Combo Rando Total, so he must know something.
Yeah, Total had to get through a split series with F. Coughlin in order to get into this money round of the tournament, as we're going to call it. So, you know, you mentioned about Link to the Past being very, very important through this first stage of this run. And that's because, really, in Super Metroid, there's only the old school Brinstar that you have to look at this stage.
Yeah, in Super Metroid, there are only 2 items that are accessible. Only one of those 2 items are in logic, since we're playing on normal mode. One of them is where you would actually get Morph Ball, and we already have red rupees from a tree pull. That's going to make Kakariko Village pretty convenient. So, yeah, there was the one item on the Morph Pedestal. There's another item a couple rooms over. The door that normally requires missiles has been removed, so you can get the E-Tank item in the ceiling, but you have to get it with a damage boost unless you have some other way to get up there.
Speaking of missiles, we have that at the Lumberjack tree. We also found our first round of power bombs over at the mushroom spot here in the Lost Woods.
Power bombs are going to be really important as well. So about a bunch of items are locked behind Morph Ball, but even if you have Morph Ball, there are several walls that are called bombable blocks in Super Metroid, and there are 3 ways to break those, either with bombs, regular power bombs, with Speed Booster, or with Screw Attack. And their progress is going to be blocked off by basically one of those 3 items, Speed Booster, Screw Attack, or bombs plus the Morph Ball ability to use them. But with power bombs here, the regular standard Morph Bombs are going to be more of a luxury. There are a couple of ways that regular Morph Bombs will play into logic. It allows them to ascend vertically any distance. That's called an infinite bomb jump, and gives basically the runners the ability to fly and go reach doors that are higher up than they would normally be able to reach. Alucard grabbed a sign here. You're the Link to the Past expert. Do you see any reason why he grabbed that sign and took it over to the tavern?
Because he wanted to throw it against the back of the tavern. That's all I got.
There's got to be some kind of Joker pun with that, like, sign back. Like, he's signing the back of a check. Like, ching, check it off. This race is in the bank. I think that's what Alucard was trying to say. This race is in the bank, so really confident move by Alucard. I think.
So we found a Morph Ball.
Okay, well, with the power bombs, that's going to unlock a lot of stuff in Brinstar, and that's the second power bomb pack. Also, is in Blind's hideout here. You need one power bomb pack. Okay, there's a speed booster. So you have a limited amount of power bombs, and you want to try to manage those and get as many checks as you possibly can in Brinstar, the first area of Super Metroid. 2 power bomb packs is pretty good. 2 power bomb packs with speed booster is amazing because speed booster allows you to save some of those power bombs. Remember, the speed booster will break those bombable blocks. It'll allow you to save some power bombs and manage your ammo a lot better. And also a super missile pack in the back of the well in case we hadn't seen one yet.
Yeah, we also got a super missile pack right there in the front of the well. We also got Wave Beam.
Yeah, Wave Beam is going to unlock 1 check in Brinstar logically. There's a method to break the game without Wave Beam. Yeah, there's ways around it that are not in logic. So I keep throwing out this word logic. What is logic? Some stuff's out of logic, some stuff's in logic. If I don't make some sense sometimes, I probably don't have any logic. Basically, this is 2 different games with their sets of items shuffled amongst each other, and as they call it, the logic is the steps that the game wants you to take to get from point A to point B. What items you're supposed to have to check such and such location. So if something is in logic, they have all of the items that the game thinks they should have to get that location. If something's out of logic, then the runner knows a little bit of trick to bypass, some of the requirements the game is trying to impose on them. And if people are more familiar with Link to the Past Randomizer, then they probably heard that term logic, or sequence break is another one that is thrown out there. Sequence break is another way to say out of logic checks. Now, if you do a sequence break and you find a key item, you know that the game was trying to give you that key item, or the game was trying to give you something else before giving you that item. So, say in Link to the Past, the game thinks they need lamps to get through dark rooms. So if they find a glove, they can head up to Death Mountain and go through the dark cave without the lamp if they know their way around, which at this level the runners do. So they can get up to Death Mountain and with their glove and no lamp. And we got a green. Speaking of Death Mountain, there's a green pendant in Tower of Harry and a red crystal in Desert Palace. So they get up to Death Mountain without the lamp, and then they find the lamp on Death Mountain. Then they have to think, oh, there was some other way I was supposed to get up to Death Mountain because it wasn't glove and lamp because I don't have a lamp and it was on Death Mountain. So sequence breaks are a way to gather a little bit more information from a location than simply the location itself.
That was a lot of logic.
Yeah, so I guess I do have a little bit.
So as apathyduck gets his way through the draining of the dam here, Alucard's going to go ahead and pick up the piece of heart and do a save and quit. He opted to go for the super missiles at the race game as apathyduck finds a blue rupee. He's not going to pick that up. Heads on his way over towards the mini Moldorm cave. This is the first of the 4 quarterfinal matches on the schedule for this tournament. The next one coming up tomorrow, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Pizza 34 versus Ivan. Then Maniacal versus Solsky. Asder versus Dragon Dark. And that is our quarterfinal field. Maniacal Solsky coming up on the 6th, and Asder Dragon Dark's coming up on the 7th.
Maniacal Solsky is going to be a great matchup. They were actually partners in the 2v2 tournament a year or so ago. So I'm really looking forward to that one. They play a lot together, and they're really competitive with each other. And there's a 3rd power bomb pack for apathyduck. And not only is this going to basically guarantee that they have enough ammo to break all the walls in Brinstar, it also means if they run low on energy, they can perform a special move called a Crystal Flash to get their energy back, which requires 11 power bombs.
Excuse me, correction. This is a round of 16 match. The winner goes to be the final member of the quarterfinals. I got my information all mixed up here. They'll be facing Aussie in the quarterfinals, round number 4.
Yeah, so good luck to whoever wins this race. Ozzy is no stranger to the tournament and speed gaming scene. In fact, I believe he won 2 separate Super Metroid tournaments at SG Live last year.
I'm wanting to say yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like both of the runners favor the South Shore checks before going into Super Metroid. But once they get Morph Ball again, pretty much everything in Brinstar is open right now. They've got Speed Booster, they've got Morph Ball, Power Bombs that they need. Also, with a Speed Booster is going to open up Wrecked Ship. So there's about half of the game of Super Metroid in Logic right now. And some runners might like to finish up their Link to the Past early check so that they don't forget them later on, or because they don't want to miss something that was on the table and they could have had for a long time. But South Shore here that Alucard's doing and apathyduck has just done. It's a lot of items. There's 5 items in there and 1 in Ice Rod Cave. And what was that, Rick?
That is called Magic Powder, which we'll get to talk about a little bit later on. So that's a very interesting entrance here into the Super Metroid Gauntlet.
Yeah, this is the typical way to route. If you can get all the way through Gauntlet, you need about 7 power bombs to get from start to finish. And you can check these 2 items from the back side, but if you were to do that, you would have missed the Magic Powder, which is not only a phenomenal safety item, but it also unlocks 1 check. apathyduck, very key. Remembering to come back here and check this Terminator item. Already passing up on heart pieces, so maybe he does favor Link to the Past.
Yeah, he ended up playing in the league on the Wu-Tang Clan team in the league just that concluded a few weeks ago. So he definitely does have his knowledge on Link to the Past and Link to the Past Randomizer. It's going to be really interesting to see how this runs out, because we know Alucard is no stranger to both of these games. We see him playing Link to the Past Randomizer very, very often, especially on Bun Day with Vitor.
I really can't downplay apathyduck's Super Metroid knowledge either, and just kind of watching how he does a short hop into the mock ball instead of going all the way hitting the ceiling. He had a really nice elevator grab coming down into Brinstar. Like, you can, it's just the damn, yeah, okay. He definitely knows what he's doing in this game.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby, Varia Suit. Well, that's another like third of Super Metroid open right now with Varia Suit.
And a magic cape as well.
Yeah, but oh.
So we see Alucard coming into Super Metroid, and he ends up having 20 missiles, 20 super missiles, and 15 power bombs to his name.
Yeah, looking even on ammo count, Alucard might have gotten the super missiles out of the race game, and apathyduck might have swift that.
Yes, he did. That was the difference between the two. By the way, Alucard just picked up the hook shot.
Yeah, apathyduck's gonna have that before he leaves Super Metroid, so I'm not really worried.
It's not a spot that apathyduck's going to be passing up at this point. As we go and check the bomb location here in Super Metroid.
There are a couple different ways to route the Brinstar. Alucard came in from the portal, checked the 230 missiles, and bombed Torizo first. I think that apathyduck's route was better in this situation. Since they have 15 power bombs, they don't really have to manage ammo, and they can get the stuff in the fastest route possible. The route Alucard's taking is advantageous if you only have 5 or 10 power bombs, and you can check a couple of items and then refill your power bombs and then go back around. But I think with having a great number of power bombs that they do, just taking the shortest path from A to B is best. Anytime that you save the game and reset, you appear on Samus's ship. I should say anytime you save the game in Link to the Past and reset, you go back to Samus's ship.
So not much. We saw the flute. So we have Death Mountain access, and we also have East Side Death Mountain access when we get done with our Brinstar checks.
That's true. The Morph Ball will allow them to enter one of the cross-world portals. The game has 4 different points where you can cross between Link to the Past and Super Metroid. One of them, obviously, was there in what they call the parlor in Super Metroid. One of them is in Norfair, where the map station would normally be, Upper Norfair. One of them is by the missile refill station behind the roly-polies in Meridia, and the other one is in Lower Norfair, the energy refill right outside of Gold Teresa.
Yeah, right after where you're supposed to normally get the shrew attack. And that is, for that reason, why flute is not always required for Link to the Past in SMZ3.
Flute's always a nice item. As far as logical access to Lower Norfair, you're either going to need Flute and Titan's Mitts to go in through Misery Mire, or you're going to logically need Gravity Suit and Space Jump and Varia Suit to go through the Lava Dive. Now, I'm sure if these runners get high jump boots, they're not going to hesitate to go through that Lava Dive with high jump boots. I don't know if they're going to try it without high jump boots and do a major sequence break in that way. It's a difficult and risky trick. And apathyduck, it remembers he has Wave Beam. Oh no!
That was a misfire.
Does he have Wave Beam? Maybe not.
He does. You can see the beam going up and down. It's just not connecting with where he needs to hit it.
I think some runners actually prefer the super missile, the trick to get behind that gate, just because you're always doing the same thing every time. It's kind of like the setup for some of the Link to the Past tricks, like what's the new one? The diver down. You can do it with bombs, or you can do it with Cane of Samaria. But if you learn the way to do it with bombs, you never have to worry about the other method, because you know the one you can use in every situation, and you don't need to know the fringe cases. And that's a kind of a bad example, because the Cane of Samaria setup is slower anyway. But,
And there's Alucard picking up his various suit.
Oh, apparently the Cane of Samaria method is only slower when I'm trying to do it. Hookshot was in the 230 room, remember? So apathyduck, as long as he grabs all of the items from here back up to the ship, he's going to have that East Death Mountain access.
Yeah, he's going to get that. Like, I'd be surprised if he skips that on his way out of here. Let's real briefly talk about how these runners got to this point. So Alucard ended up beating Metroid Mist, and apathyduck ended up beating Total, as you mentioned earlier. There's the flute for Alucard.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice time-saving item, if nothing else. Oh man, Duck even lining up his door transitions. I love when runners have the awareness to line up their door transitions in Super Metroid. And for those that don't know, anytime you go through a door in Super Metroid, the game has to line up and center the door here. So you saw apathyduck, the door kind of had to take a second to center itself. And normally, if you center the door before going into it, you'll save some time versus letting the game do it, because the game does it kind of slowly.
I was gonna say, you better grab that E-tank there, apathyduck. You're down to 41 health.
He's pretty low, but the Varia suit does protect him from damage by 50% and from environmental damage by 75%. That's a little bit of a change from the vanilla behavior. And hey, Charge Beam.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing for the upcoming bosses for Super Metroid.
Yeah, we might even get to see some X Factor Fantoon fights, which are pretty rare in randomizers.
Well, there we go. We find out that we don't really have much in that room to get, so let's go to the Billy Mays room.
Yeah. Why do they call it the Billy Mays room, Rick?
Because you see this one item right here, but wait, there's more, and that's a lamp.
Oh, that puts old man in logic. Of all of the checks, I think runners disregard the logic for old man more than almost anything.
For runners of this caliber, it's kind of a more of a quality of life item.
Yeah,
but it can be your fire source to light the torches and Link to the Past, so
exactly,
you might need it.
Yeah, you need it to finish Desert Palace. You might need it to finish Misery Mire or Tower of Hera, since those dungeons all have torches that you need to light. Oh hey, they have cape and lamp.
Yeah, but no sword yet.
2 out of 3. Maybe
well,
it's key sanity.
Bad.
Maybe it's key sanity. They'll go in and get Agate Tower and find a sword in the first chest.
We haven't seen any key cards yet, so I don't think so. First bottle.
Pretty nice. The thing I love about bottles.
What's that?
You can put whatever you want in them. The thing I love, having a bottle is a really nice item in a multi-world. I'm just gonna cut it off there because I don't want to confuse anybody or misrepresent the rule set that we're playing with.
You know, I honestly thought you were going somewhere different with that, so I was waiting for a...
Strap in, folks. It's a 3-hour run.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to this 3-hour retort with you.
3-hour VTOR.
Bees? Where? There's the hookshot for apathyduck.
They can put a bee in the bottle. I think that's the point.
Can they really? I don't think they've got the bug catching net. Oh yeah, they did. Didn't they get the bug catching net or no?
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have it on the tracker, so it's not important.
They can use the bottle to overwrite all of their other items, like their claim check. That's this game, right?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Alucard had a little bit of trouble with the Shine Spark here in Waterway. It's the water physics make you drift forward if you try to press left before the Shine Spark wind-up animation. And he actually, as you're drifting forward, you're also still rising. So he almost rised a little too high to break those blocks. But fortunately, still made it. apathyduck, at the very least, is going to refill some power bombs here. He's got a couple choices. He could go into Wrecked Ship with Speed Booster. That's a full clear. Go down Red Tower and make his way to Death Mountain through the Norfair portal. Could even clear out Norfair, but I think now's a pretty good time to clear out Wrecked Ship. It can be a dangerous area, but with 5e tanks and Varia's suit, there shouldn't be any trouble here.
And that auto suggests that they have a reserve tank, right?
Yeah. Sure. I'm sure they care about that. I don't know. Did Apathy check the Criteria power bomb location?
I believe the answer to that is yes, because he got an E-tank out of that. That was the first thing he did.
So, Apathy looks like he might have just been checking the moat, and it was just an arrow capacity upgrade. He's going to go ahead and head down. Put off Wrecked Ship for later. It is kind of... If you're familiar with Link to the Past Randomizer, you always think of terms in crystal dungeons and pendant dungeons, right? A crystal dungeon is a place that you have to go no matter what, and a pendant dungeon is a place with hopefully a bunch of items that you don't necessarily have to go to. So, Wrecked Ship is... I'm sorry, go on.
I was going to say, it's a place that you hope at the end of the day that you stayed the hell out of.
Yeah, it's a place that you hope not to have to go to. So there are, in that terminology, there are kind of crystal dungeons and pendant dungeons in Super Metroid. So Lower Norfair, going down to kill Ridley, is a crystal dungeon because you have to defeat Ridley and you're pretty much walking past all the item locations while you're doing so. Upper Norfair, not so much. That's more of a pendant dungeon. And then Crocomire is basically a pendant dungeon within the pendant dungeon. Like Meridia is mostly a pendant dungeon, except for Shack Tool and Plasma Room. And then Wrecked Ship, the first half is a I think you know where I'm getting at any rate. Wrecked Ship, the first half is a crystal dungeon, and the back half is a pendant dungeon. So, and you definitely don't want to have to route all the way back to the pendant dungeon the long way later on.
See, Apathy ducking stuck a little bit. What he's trying to do is do the damage boost.
Yeah, there's a reason they call that Hellway.
He's probably saying other words than hell.
Not on Speed Gaming, he's not.
Yeah, there are words that are not appropriate for Speed Gaming 2 at this family-friendly hour.
apathyduck is passing over the X-ray item, which is not in logic, but there are ways to get it. Hey, Book of Medora.
Oh, that... I
Apathy
don't think Apathy got, because I don't think I remember seeing Apathy going this detour over here to get.
He definitely got the bottle, and he definitely had speed booster, so I'm a little surprised if he didn't get the book, but I didn't see it before.
No, I think Apathy just went straight up the shaft.
Yeah, I could see maybe not wanting to check it if you could not get it at the time.
Oh, didn't have enough PBs.
Yeah, you do need 3 power bombs to check it. So, you know what? Do you remember back when Alucard came into Super Metroid, and I said the route Alucard is taking is nice because he can use his power bombs for a couple locations, and then come back around and not have to use power bombs later for them. Yeah, that's the difference right there. Alucard's immediate decision upon coming into Super Metroid and checking 230 first.
And that could come into play if there turns out to be something important inside of the desert that we don't have access otherwise for.
Oh yeah, like a crystal. But, there's also a mirror somewhere in the game. Alucard's throwing a Shine Spark across the moat, so he is going to go in full clear wreck ship here.
Oh, they saw an arrow upgrade on the pathway between. I don't know these room names. I can only pick up from what I've heard in previous commentary, so I'm going to do my best. That's what you're here for, Cross Product.
My policy is, if you don't know the name of something, make one up and maybe it'll catch on.
Here we go. Crade and quick Crade. There we go. Good job, Apathy.
The other thing was that apathyduck picked up an energy tank in Retro Brinstar, which would have been part of what he needed to Shine Spark up the shaft. But yeah, not having the power bombs, that's... I don't know. Maybe he didn't refill enough in the moat. Yeah, I mean, either just deciding not to check the shaft or not being aware of his ammo. It's hard to say which. You want it? Yeah. Coming into Super Metroid a little earlier is also kind of nice because you do often find those big rupee drops in Super Metroid. So things like King Zora getting into Monkey Town, the pod.
Monkey Town. That's the first time I've ever heard it called Monkey Town.
It's a song by Lip Sync.
Yes, it is.
Dora, please. But anyway, there are a few points where you need rupees, especially early in Link to the Past. So if you can bail into Super Metroid and then get all the rupees you need for the rest of the game, it always feels good.
We're going to check the high jump region here.
Oh, we got an X Factor setup coming here. Alucard's got his power bombs equipped. This is the any percent old route method of killing Phantoon.
And that's also a plasma beam for apathyduck.
Yeah, he might not care about X Factoring it since he's got plasma.
There we go.
Yeah,
nice connection on the X Factor.
Yep, as long as he lands all 4 hits, he can easily do this in 2 rounds. Missed the open in round 1, but had a nice X Factor. And so if it looks like the flames aren't there, Super Metroid runs at 60 FPS. And the flames flicker on every frame, and Alucard might be outputting at 30 FPS, so some stuff that flickers might look like it's not there, or might look like it's a solid item, but
did
they're
not
there.
Quite get all of the X Factor that time around. So we had somebody inquiring what the goal of this game is. The end goal of this game is that you have to defeat Ganon on the Link to the Past randomizer side, and for SMZ3, for the SM side, you have to beat all 4 of the bosses and defeat Mother Brain.
Alucard finishes off one of the bosses, Phantoon, with a nice volley of missiles, picking up the leftover damage after the second X Factor missed.
And Apathy Duck's giving us some checks over here on the Link to the Past randomizer side, as he goes and checks to see what's in the east side of Death Mountain. Paradox Cave coming up next.
No arrows yet. That's curious.
Only arrow upgrades, I think.
Ooh,
Moon Pearl! Whoa!
That's good, but getting a Moon Pearl too early might be a little dangerous if, say, Apathy Duck comes back and does Dark World Dungeons with a hammer or something. It's good, but it's in a spot that Apathy Duck is sure to get.
Well, it's a required item, so he's got to get it.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, it's in a location that he's not likely to put off for very long.
We got ourselves our first glove over here in Paradox Cave upper side.
Yeah, glove. Is easy access to back of escape, and with a lamp they can check Dark Cross as well and hope not to find a map. Alucard went into the save room. It does take a little bit of time to get over to this one item through the spiky room of death. And
it could be dangerous, yeah. Spiky room of death kind of summarizes it. I was going to just say it's just completely dangerous. Look at Apathy Duck with his 4 hearts.
Yeah, he skipped some stuff. He skipped a heart piece in Super Metroid that he was about 4 tiles from. So he's confident. I'll give it to him. It's silver arrows.
Silver's nice.
Yeah, we're not going to reset those.
And that may be depending on when Apathy Duck gets over this way. Who knows? That might be something that Apathy Duck doesn't get, but obviously you have to be thinking you're going to be searching the entire area when you get to that Moon Pearl. Mirror in Spiral Cave.
The mirror, Apathy finding the mirror is bad for Alucard because it starts to take away his advantage of grabbing the book when he did, but it's also going to require another glove upgrade for Apathy Duck can use the mirror to get into Desert Palace.
No, here's the interesting thing. If Alucard ends up getting the other glove over here on the SM side before he gets over to the Death Mountain, he'll be able to single shot the entire Death Mountain area, including checking out what's going on over in the Super Running Cave and Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, being able to clear Light World and Dark World Death Mountain in the same go is really nice. Ah, the mirror out of the sanctuary bit. I always forget about that one.
Yeah, it's a good way of saving some time when you don't have the boots.
So, I'm starting to think about Dark World access here, and we've got a glove and a Moon Pearl, so we either need a second glove, or a hammer, or a sword to do Aghanim, or, my favorite, gravity suit and flippers to take the cross-world portal into Dark World.
That's nice and evil.
It's not that bad. It does make some interesting routing decisions in Meridia and, you know, where you want to save scum before checking certain items.
You see that there's a heart container after that. A long little path to go and speed boost your way over there.
Yeah, whether or not Alucard picks up that heart container, Ether, can't use it without a sword yet, but whether or not Alucard picks up this heart container is going to be really telling on how safe he wants to play the race versus how fast he wants to go. Because a heart container is a heart container, but it is adding probably 20 or 30 seconds to get that heart container.
It becomes a balance of whether or not death's going to come into play. Obviously, if you take a death, you're losing a lot more than 30 seconds, but who knows? I mean, we're dealing with 2 very good quality runners.
If I took a safety exit in Laser Bridge and then immediately died after that, that might be like 28 seconds. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, for me, usually deaths are like 2 minutes long because I got to go all the way back over.
Well, yeah, you're not taking the sissy save like I am.
No, because I forget to do so. Or I die in the process.
Ooh. Gonna get our first look at the old man in the desert.
Yes. Say hello to Agina, all the way out here in the desert, and... Well, that's, interesting.
Alright, Alucard skipped the energy tank, so he wants to go fast. That X-ray scope is... Provided Alucard gets the...
Canis Maria.
Plasma beam before gravity suit, which... It's likely enough that he will. He'll be able to fast track his way through Meridia bosses with X-ray and charge beam plasma, two of which he already has.
That Canis Maria pretty much guarantees that we're going to see apathyduck fully clearing out the wrecked ship, which he's probably going to end up heading towards right now.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Right now, Alucard's ace in the hole is the book.
Which really does nothing for him at this point because, well, there's access to the desert, but...
Apathy's already checked the ledge. I don't think it was anything...
No, it was just an upgrade.
But it is potentially 2 items in Desert Palace and a crystal. That's going to be dependent on whether they need the Pegasus boots or not.
Look at apathyduck now on his second row of energy tanks already, 36 minutes in. This was healthy on the Super Metroid side.
Yeah, and not so much in Link to the Past, but they did get a blue mail. Nice damage boost from Alucard. So apathyduck is going to have a charge and wave and plasma, which is 750 damage. He does not have the X-ray, nor can he, because the X-ray scope is in wrecked ship, right? So he's not going to be able to do the one-hit kill against Phantoon. But with 2 volleys and a charge shot, he'll do 1150. Slightly less than half of Phantoon's health. So if he wants to 2-round Phantoon, he's going to have to use some doppel strats or turn off plasma beam and use X factors.
X-ray scope is what they call microwaving, right?
Part of it, yeah. Microwaving is X-ray scope and charge beam and plasma, the 3 items together.
Right.
You use the X-ray scope to time out the enemy's invincibility frames, and then the plasma beam is unique in that it doesn't despawn when it touches an enemy, most enemies. So the projectile is inside of, in this case would be Phantoon's hitbox, and then Phantoon basically has no invincibility frames. If you've seen Mega Man 1 and you know the trick where you press select to reset boss, and it's exactly the same thing. The invincibility frames time out while the game is paused.
Bosses just became so much easier because of that pause strats in Mega Man 1.
And technically you don't need the charge beam to microwave, but you do need charge beam to damage bosses with plasma.
Very solid Phantoon for apathyduck. Gets his first SM boss taken care of, second boss taken care of, because he's already got Kraid done as well.
Yeah, and that's where Alucard's heading now. Apathyduck did have a really nice Phantoon fight. Had a good combination of good patterns and impeccable execution, really.
And also, just to note, apathyduck did end up going with X Factor strats.
Yeah, so the upshot of that, or downshot, if that's a word, is that you had to turn plasma back on. While we're kind of doubling back on the runners here, I do want to give special shout outs to our tracker, Siriu, doing a great job making sure the viewers don't get lost, and as well as us.
I'm lost.
Well, We're on Zebus.
Thank you.
Zebus.
That was such help.
You thought we were on SR388 or Talon 4, didn't you?
No quick crate kill for Alucard, so this is going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I got the quick open. So after you miss the quick kill, Kraid can either start opening his mouth again, or he can be a jerk. He was nice today, but Alucard still should need one more missile.
Unfortunately, he's getting shoved off here. We know apathyduck had a much better Kraid than Alucard did.
Yeah, better Kraid and better Fantoon.
And so now apathyduck's making his way over to find his silver arrows shortly. So while we're doubling back, talk to me about ammo. What is it we need to be able to fully beat Super Metroid?
We're there.
Stage?
We got.
We're already there.
We're there. Yeah. Absolutely. So, at bare minimum, you need 5 power bombs. If you don't have the morph bombs, you always want to have like 15 or 20. Super missiles just don't matter anymore when you have charge and plasma. They can kill Ridley slightly faster, but ammo is just a moot point at this stage of the game.
So pretty much the game at this point is get everything we need for A Link to the Past.
Yeah, including Dark World access to start off with. Oh, how about a sword? A sword would be pretty nice.
Who needs a sword? Where do you think the swords are?
Either high roll or Arkham City.
Wow, I didn't realize we were playing Batman today.
Well, I gave you 2 options. Okay, we're like already full cleared Super Metroid. I'm just kidding.
Can I do Fester's Quest instead?
Fester's Quest? What city does that take place in?
I don't know.
I don't remember there being aliens in Adam's Family. But it is a Sunsoft game, so I guess it makes sense.
Exactly. Now you're seeing where I'm going with this.
Alright, so Speed Booster means easy access to Bubble Mountain, so Upper Norfair is going to be a quick clear, but it is kind of a pendant dungeon, as I said earlier. Ether. So we haven't had a map check in Dark World yet, which, well...
We haven't even been to the Dark World yet.
But why would we? The only point where you would have maybe entered the Dark World with this item set is going into Tower of Hera, but you can't finish Tower of Hera because you don't have a sword or hammer. And also it's a pendant. It's a green pendant, so it's worth 1 extra item, but it's a pendant. And you don't have a sword, and you can't beat it anyway.
Who needs a sword?
You need 2 swords to beat the game.
You can hear where we decided to morph this into swordless.
Morphless? Did you say morphless or morph this?
I said morph this into swordless. I mean, we've already lost the morphless part because we already have morph ball.
Oh man, I think it was Total, the guy that made this game, this combo, not this game, but this combo randomizer. I think he was the one that kind of, he started to make that's the other glove.
Oh boy. So what we mentioned earlier now has come true. Alucard's going to be able to full clear the mountain. with the exception of, at this point, Spike Cave.
Man, apathyduck passing up on a full heart that he was 4 tiles from. Okay. Gotta admire the guy's guts. So anyway, Total made an quote open mode Super Metroid randomizer once way back in the day, and that removed a lot of walls and allowed you to check most of the locations in the game without Morph Ball. It was a fun little experiment, but it apparently didn't stick. Otherwise, we might have that as a mode in SMZ3. But yeah, that's just going on that whole Morphless thing.
I mean, we've got new modes coming to SMZ3 real soon.
Ah, there is a key sanity mode in the works. That's right. We briefly touched up on that earlier with the key cards, but yeah, it's still in closed beta, so just have to keep an eye on Twitch streams and see if anybody's trying out one of the thingy-mabobs.
We should sweet talk Miss Metroid and see if we can't get a showcase of it at some point.
That's a good idea.
Gee, I wonder who we can talk to about that.
You just said talk to Miss Metroid. You did somehow let her. You did somehow talk her into letting you commentate tonight. I'll give you that.
Yes, I hope they're not regretting their decision on that right now. All right, apathyduck's about to go pick up the book as we get the mushroom down here. Yeah.
Alucard's loaded with fetch quests now. He will have the Titan's Mitts as soon as he goes into East Death Mountain. And with Titan's Mitts, and he'll also get the mirror up there. So he'll actually be able to do Magic Bat. And the mushroom. And you want to save scum the mushroom and try to keep it in glitch later because they have the powder, which is what you trick the game into thinking the mushroom is. I'm sorry.
Technically, we have logical access to the magic bed at this point. Well, Alucard doesn't have it at this point, but once he gets the mirror, he will. Still no sign of the hammer.
No sign of the hammer, but you know what?
I think it's time to bomb ourselves into a hole and trick this game into putting us into a room filled with rupees.
Yeah, I think Apathy passed up a couple of big rupee locations and maybe kicking himself for it now, but this isn't going to cost him too much time. So I was just thinking, if Alucard grabs the Titan's Mitts, that combined with the
flute, grab them all.
He only got what he needed. You only need 610, right?
That's right. Flute to 8, let's go. We have to do fake flippers to get there still, but we can do this.
It does beg the question why he has 630 instead of 610. Is he expecting to drop Kiki twice?
We'll be sure to tease him about that if that does happen at the end of this 3-hour marathon.
Well, why'd you get so many rubies in Houlihan? We'll have to add that to the interview.
And then watch him come up short for the digging game and then be wondering where those rupees he needed for it is.
I was also pointing out that Titan's Mitts and Flute will give us access to Lower Norfair. Get rupees?
300 rupees from Hobo!
Why is he living under a bridge? He's one of them rich hobos. Well, he was. Did Link just rob a homeless guy? So yeah, Lower Norfair.
What can he hold him up with? He just has a hook shot at this
Meyer
point.
Portal, Lower Norfair. We have speed booster to get through the screw attack room. It's in line. We can go kill Ridley. That's all. It's once we thing and get place to where it is.
Thing.
East Death Mountain Titans Mitts. Lower North Fair. Ridley.
Boots!
Oh, that's pretty good. Alucard doesn't miss those right now because he's playing the right game. Some runners favor Link to the Past, some favor Super Metroid. I bet you can't guess which I do.
You favor the Goonies 2 randomizer.
Yeah, I still need to play vanilla. Alright, so there's that wasn't completely random. There's a reason Rick brought that up. Vitor, one of the head developers of Just Link to the Past randomizer, has also worked on a randomizer for Goonies 2 for NES. It's a Konami game, I believe. And so he's worked on Goonies 2 randomizer, and he's always trying to get people to play it. And I do want to get to it, but I wanted to play the vanilla game first. I said, Vitor, I'd love to do Goonies 2, but I have to play the vanilla game first so I know what's going on. And you know what Vitor said to me? He said the vanilla game is a randomizer. I don't know anything about Goonies 2, but...
Ouch! Why you do that? Or what do you do, or whatever that saying is. Spring ball in the Bonk Rocks. Where did Alucard get his space jump?
Is that a line from Goonies 2? I'm guessing Bubble Mountain. Probably Wave or Speed Booster area. But yeah, Spring Ball's a really fantastic movement item. It's going to allow them to save time. It's going to allow them to shave off a little bit of time here and there over the course of the rest of the run. It's a really good item.
We're going to get a lumberjack check.
It was a missile pack. Alucard checked it already.
We checked that earlier.
apathyduck. It's late.
51-minute Aga check.
You know what? I bet he was waiting until he got Pegasus boots to check it, which actually makes a lot of sense because you want to check the Bonk Rocks, so you're already pretty close. You can get there faster than walking there, and you can't pick up the item unless you have boots anyway.
We still don't know what we need to do in the Dark World.
We know how to get to the Dark World. The runners just don't. Apathy does have the book. I'm drinking coffee. So I was mentioning the lumberjack check. So the advantage to checking it later with the boots, I've explained as apathyduck did, but there is kind of an advantage to checking it early on as well. You could have your Aghanim access really early. Speaking of the devil, there's the Aghanim access. You could get your Aghanim access really early and not have the boots, and the boots be really late. So the Aghanim access could actually help you get to the Dark World faster if you know you have to do it anyway. So that's the advantage of checking Lumberjack early. I do also want to point out that this Desert Palace is boots locked, which means it's flipper locked, right?
That's right. So this is a continuing of the out of sequence here for apathyduck.
So we did mention this. We did mention the sequence breaks early on, and here's a great example of what's happening. Apathyduck did a minor glitch. It's allowed in the game. He did a minor glitch to check an item that the game thought he needed flippers to check. Those flippers would have led to these Pegasus boots. So later on, if he's going around looking for flippers, he's gonna know not to check anything that is hard locked by the Pegasus boots.
What is hard locked by the spring ball?
There's an answer. There's some fun answers to that. In the short answer is, in normal logic, basically nothing.
Thank you.
However, in hard logic, it gives you extra vertical height on your jumps if you know a little trick, if you know the spring ball jump. So there are a number of places where spring ball could play in the logic in hard mode. I think
we're playing in normal logic.
We're playing in normal mode, but listen, there is, I think, one situation where spring ball plays into the logic, and that is getting to Ridley. So when you leave Ridley, you need 6 power bombs or any of another number of items that prevents you from needing the 6th power bomb. So if they only had 1 power bomb pack and they didn't have speed booster, actually I don't think the speed booster. If they didn't have like screw attack or spring ball, they would need 10 power bombs. Now that doesn't matter anymore because they've got 20 power bombs, but I think that it does play into the logic even in normal mode, in that one fringe scenario that's honestly never going to happen in any normal mode race that you watch.
They can hear the love in your voice for hard mode.
I'm just going to let Tracy rant about normal mode because she loves doing that. And really skimpy on the heart containers here.
5 and 6 hearts still. How about another energy tank? Because we don't have enough energy in Super Metroid at this point. As Alucard picks up the mirror.
Oh boy. Alright, so what Alucard's going to be looking for in the Dark World Death Mountain checks is probably a sword or hammer. If he gets a sword or hammer, then he could try to go do Tower of Hera and finish that out. He also has a hook shot, which is...
And we get our first map check. We do have pendants at Thieves Town and the Palace of Darkness. The other 5/6 crystal is going to be Swamp Palace. So we definitely need Fire Rod. We definitely need Ice Rod. We definitely need Hammer. We always need Hammer.
So Alucard's going to save some time because he's doing both Light World and Dark World of Death Mountain at the same time. However, apathyduck is going to have boots when he comes back, so it's not going to make up quite that difference, but
Fire Rod.
Going to bring it kind of close. Fire Rod, eh?
Now we're just a sword and a hammer away, or a hammer away from being able to be the Tower of Hera, because there was no guarantee. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We had the lamp. We had a fire source. What the hell am I talking about? Do I even play these games?
You play one of them.
Yes, that's right.
It happens to be the one in question.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm doubting myself. I needed an ether for Turtle. Yeah, ether for Turtle Rock.
They have that, but
yes, they do.
Have a sword, so
they don't have a sword. They don't have a hammer.
Well, yeah. Well, nah. It's got Fire Rod though,
and missiles and a bow. We needed that.
That's going to be a full clear of Eastern Palace. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alucard go straight over there. I don't think we've checked Sahasrah's Closet. I think Apathy skipped it. Maybe Alucard did do Sahasrah.
Apathy just checked Sahasrah's Closet.
Okay, I know Apathy put it off early on. Alucard is going to turn into Mushroom. Okay. At some point. Maybe not this moment, but...
Yeah, he wants to check the back for you to escape. Apathy's about to pick up his Titan mitts. So I hear Plasma Beam against Crocomire is very, very cheap.
Yeah. Apathy shot it up on an angle, which might not have finished off Crocomire in one hit, but he ended up shooting him twice anyway. Crocomire's got this kind of weird thing where the first time you hit him doesn't count if you hit him too early, but then it does count the next time you hit him. So, like, if you, for example, if you shoot him with a super missile, he takes 3 steps back. If the first hit is like too early before he opens his mouth all the way, he saves that 3 steps and will do it the next time he steps back. So that's why he ended up having to shoot Crocomire twice before he backed up.
It's like that Leonard Skinner song, give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps more.
Towards the door.
That's right.
But the door is made of acid.
Exactly.
Why would you want to go to a door made of acid?
Ask Crocomire that! Fluid activation for Alucard as people do the 07s in chat.
I'm trying to think.
Thinking is overrated.
I'm done. I'm done thinking. It was kind of... Hey, I'm not gonna go off on too much of a tangent on what TV shows I've been watching, but go on.
We've gone on enough tangents on this 1 hour so far.
Hey, we still got at least an hour more, up to 2 hours more. But it's not really looking like it's gonna be a 3-hour seed, to be honest.
I get at least I get about 2 more hours with cross product.
If you're lucky.
Oh boy.
So yeah, Alucard, Eastern Palace, full clear, crystal, always a good play.
We're still not close to getting, well, we're not yet there as far as go mode is concerned. We still need to find the location of another sword, the fabled flippers, of course the hammer.
Yeah, with Swan Palace being a crystal, flippers are a hard requirement here. I mean, gravity suit would be nice. That would allow them to do Meridia in logic and like 3 times faster.
Without deactivating stuff whenever you're trying to make a jump.
They do have a spring ball. Spring ball is a big suitless Meridia item if you're playing in hard mode. Shout out Story Tracker Suryu, and if you're reading the chat, yes, do follow our runners, Alucard2004 and apathyduck. Not only follow them on Twitch, but also follow them on rank1.global. You want to go ahead and tell them about our sponsor there, Rick?
Absolutely. Our great tournament here, the SMZ3 tournament's presented to you thanks to Rank 1. I'll give you some information about that in just a moment, but in the meantime, Rank 1, it's a nice little community site there, social site there, meet up with gamers, find out what they love to do and whatnot, and they're the proud sponsors of this tournament, and they helped fund this pool that these runners are going to be playing for. Now, the prizes are going to be for the top 4 runners of this game, so these two still need 2 more wins until they get to that point.
While you were shouting out our sponsor, and thank you, apathyduck made a really tricky wall jump in Bubble Mountain and made it look easy. Diagonal spark there, that's pretty smart. I'll often try a vertical spark there and just bonk into the underside of the moving platforms. So I think this is where we're going to find Space Jump, either this or the Speed Booster location. My goodness, they changed the sprite of Space Jump so it looks like a rupee.
Oh boy.
Oh, North Fair Reserve. And it was somewhere around here. Is North Fair Reserve in logic? I don't think so. It would require bombs, high jump boots, or grapple beam. Or ice beam. Ice beam would do it.
Who needs to jump high? Have we seen anything inside of this Eastern Palace?
Well, I'm sorry, guys. Or Space Jump, which is behind there, so I didn't count it. Apathy got the really swag damage boost to get across and bypass the logical requirements. Space Jump is... It no longer matters for lower North Fair logic, right? Since we've got the Titan's Mitt and the Flute. The other place Space Jump could matter is... one location in lower North Fair, which Space Jump is actually a hard requirement for. It's the missile pack above the crumble blocks in the Gold Terizo mini-boss room.
So, did anything come out of Eastern Palace?
Wow, Apathy Duck skipped a heart piece and a heart container and a red mail so far.
He is living on the edge.
I didn't see anything in Eastern Palace. Alucard just so he wanted to check the desert ledge first. And now he's going to go into the portal. He's got 3 overworld checks. He can see which medallion he needs for Misery Mire. He could mirror and go into desert for a sword, but not finish because he didn't get the boots from the fake flipper check.
It is ether to get into Misery Mire.
That's convenient.
So the one medallion they have is the one we need. Sword!
Okay. Apathy's gonna do some Outcast Village checks / Skullwoods. No hammer for Thieves Town.
I was gonna say he can't beat Skullwoods at this point, but he can go in and at least see what's in the first couple of sections.
Hey, Rick, I have a question for you. What's worse than hammerless Thieves Town?
Pendant Thieves Town.
Pendant hammerless Thieves Town.
You feel real good about yourself going into Pendant Thieves Town. Because it's either a waste of time, or there's a required item and you didn't go in there, which is...
Oh, gravity suit? What? What were you going for there?
I was going to say a waste of time.
Oh, right. But the waste of time wasn't in Thieves Town in that case. The waste of time was everywhere else.
Exactly. It was a waste of time not going into Thieves Town in that case.
Gravity suit is a waste of time. You heard it here first, folks. From Adirondack Rick. So the reason
I'll try playing Super Metroid without the gravity suit. I'll give up in Meridia, but I'll try it.
Honestly, you could do it, Rick.
No, I couldn't. Well,
you could get to Dragon. I'll give you that much. If you had grapple beam, high jump boots, and space jump, you could get to Dragon. I believe in you, Rick.
That's one more than that's in my house right now. I don't believe I could get to Dragon. Hell no.
A pink bunny wearing a purple tunic lives in that house? What?
Have you seen my Twitter lately? Yes.
No. Oh, is it are there bushes in front of it? I've lost everything.
Alright, so Apathy Duck does pull out in the first 4 of Thieves Town and Ice Rod, which will be required to beat this game, as Alucard is giving us a look at seeing what is inside of this Misery Mire.
Yeah, fortunately he found that sword in the shed next door. And fortunately he has silver arrows, so the boss fight's going to be a joke. And Apathy Duck only went into the first 4 of Thieves Town. Did you happen to catch how many items he found?
He found items. There's at least 2 of them.
Nice.
At least 2 of them. I do remember seeing a pack of power bombs and the ice rod. They're saying 3, so therefore he found another item in there. So therefore, it's not much of a gamble at this point. You're gonna skip out of here.
Yeah. So Thieves Town has 4 items, and at least 3 of them.
Give him the bottle, you madman! You.
He has a bottle. You can't get more than 3 items in the front of Thieves. Nice sword spin there. You can't get more than 3 items because one of the first 4 chests has to have the big key. And so there's only one other item in that entire dungeon, and it could even be in a location that requires hammer.
Oh, interesting thought process here coming in from chat that we may be seeing Alucard make a play for Lower Norfair after we're done with this.
That's what I've been saying.
To go face off against Ridley. I mean, after all, we got at 80,000 health at this point for Super Metroid.
Why do you have fast health beeps, Alucard?
Alucard, why?
Why? Alright. number one thing we rag on Alucard during the interview. Why?
I have it underlined. I have it underlined.
You have it written down?
Yeah, I write it down as a note here. We're going to mention that during the post-race interview.
That's a good idea. I should co-commentate with somebody who writes stuff down. I did that already.
You're doing that right now. It was going to be a 3-hour thing. I was going to be prone to forgetting things. Half magic.
I miss when it says it cannot go with me. Oh, there's a bug net. What?
He's grabbing that?
What? I'm sorry, what? So you skipped like 3 hearts, a mail upgrade, and a bottle. But he got a bug net.
I mean,
he's got powder, so it increases
if only we knew where there was a bottle that he could maybe put a fairy into.
Can't see it. Is this okay? No one's gonna steal that purple chest, are they? Oh, he's gonna set up portal. No, if he mirrors, he loses the...
No, he's gonna do it right next to the man, and that's gonna preserve this purple chest, so he's gonna be able to pick this up.
Okay.
Well, and he gets the bottle anyway.
This is some Link to the Past tech I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's been recently put into use, is the fact that you can be able to move the chest with you, and for like a very brief moment, the game thinks that you still have the purple chest with you when you come into the light world. So you end up mirroring right next to the purple chest guy, and you still get credit for it.
So as long as the chest exists somewhere, you have it when you mirror, whether or not it's attached to you?
I believe you got to have it somewhere close.
Maybe because it's on the same like super tile as the
same region, yeah.
Hmm.
Can we get some hype?
We've had so much hype already. Look at this. We have a bow, a sword, ice rod.
As long as you pick it up once. Ice beam.
A terrible item. I do not like ice beam in normal mode. Oh, there's
second sword for apathyduck.
Yeah, I suspect it won't be long before apathy grabs his tempered out of the mire shed. But the ice beam just doesn't. The logic, for the most part, just doesn't care about ice beam in normal mode. But I'd give that sword. That sword's hype enough to make up for the cave. Alucard having a nice 0 cycle Vitreous Phase 1. And fires a 3rd Silver Arrow for good measure. And gets a burrito. And here we go. Apathy is going to get that Tempered Sword immediately. And the game thought you had flippers when you picked up the boots, Apathy, but you don't actually have them. So we're going to see the advantage that apathyduck here has. Every second that we're in Link to the Past and one runner has boots and the other doesn't is going to, change the time difference. It's going to increase as time goes on in Link to the Past. So that being said, Alucard should go to Super Metroid so he's not hemorrhaging time anymore. Time? GG. That's what Alucard would say.
He almost was able to say in his voice.
Actually, hard pass. Please! Gotta believe. Fast versus fun. Those are all things that he's probably said one time or another.
Okay.
All right, let's see some Ridley blood.
₹20 right there, not what we need.
So there are two kind of methods for checking these items for Alucard. There's a screw attack. We don't care. It's nice, but not nice enough to go all that way for, especially when we have plasma beam. It's a nice.
That
it's a
only
nice
moved
item,
30 feet.
but you have to go around. What are you just gonna walk through the wall? What is this? Link to the Past?
What do you think this is? Icebreaker?
Gosh dang it. So Alucard did actually take out Gold Torizo. There is another option. When he goes to the cross-world portal and he goes into that room and sees there's nothing there, he could reset. So when you go, anytime you go from one game to the other game, it auto-saves. So he could actually reset there and get out of the Gold Torizo fight. With the beam combination that he has, though, fighting Gold Torizo is probably faster.
Desert Palace finished off here for Duck. Probably see him going to Misery Mire in just a moment as well.
He wants the screw attack, I guess. That's surprising. Is there something I'm forgetting about screw attack and logic? Or is this just a preference for having a nice item without gravity suit?
One would think maybe to save power bombs, but they have 20 max capacity at this point.
That would be the big thing. It's a nice item. Like, it's a nice item to have, and you will generally go faster with screw attack versus without it. This is a long detour though. I don't know about this, but I'm gonna let Alucard play his game. Secret of the gosh dang it, Satan. The S doesn't stand for secret. Symphony of the Night. That's the game. That's Alucard's game. Symphony of the Night. Son of. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go get you a new co-commentator right now. I've had enough of me, I'm sure.
Well, let's put it this way. There were mistakes made in life. This wasn't one.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you're like me and you just like being in the booth with somebody to make mistakes alongside of you. Or maybe you're just perfect.
Oh, hell no, I ain't perfect.
Oh, boy. So, this is the biggest, most lucrative crystal dungeon in Super Metroid, Lower Norfair. And yeah, you see the advantage of having screw attack, especially in this, what they call the worst room in the game for Alucard. I mean, like I said, it's an item that lets you go faster. It's just questionable whether it makes up for the detour. You don't need that.
Well, he doesn't. Well, he does have fire rod. Never mind.
That
He knows what both of the requirements are at this stage. So yeah, you're right. He didn't need that.
That's either a reflex or just, you know, it's a good safety. Like, it's a good, you know, fudge it. I'm done with this room item. So it's a useful item. But not required.
It's a nice quality of life item, just like the screw attack is. But
maybe he just needs it because it helps his menuing. That's my theory. Write that down. And Alucard, I think, wants to save here more because of his current energy situation than anything else.
There, I have it written down. We're gonna see one of the new techs here in Link to the Past to bypass the portal.
Ah, nifty. How much time does that save?
Apathyduck really pulling out all the tricks in this game.
Oh, that allows you to come back around to the main room directly.
Yes, it does. It gets you to the main room faster.
So yeah, that does skip a lot of extra rooms. Oh, especially if you're gonna do. Huh. Interesting. I can see how that would completely reroute Misery Mire.
Somebody asking how new that was. That was made legal the same time they made legal Diver Down as well as Icebreaker applications. Which are the more known glitches that you see in randomizer runs.
Did y'all see how smooth Alucard's door transition was going from Wasteland to Gold Pirates? It wasn't perfect, but that's a really tough door to line up.
And we had Cross Product talking about how much you want to really try to line up your doors a little while ago. About an hour ago, we were talking about that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is a Link to the Past equivalent to lining up doors.
Lining up how you're running into doors, maybe?
Yeah, I guess it's similar to key dashing. In that you want to kind of approach the door the same way and...
not have to realign yourself to a door when you are not exactly on the right pixel.
Yeah, door transitions save more time in Super Metroid, but not as much time as bonking would. So, like, if you line up your doors or if you line up your key dashes in Link to the Past, you're saving the time of stopping your dash and then walking again.
Nice run the kill for Alucard.
Okay, yeah, didn't need that save after all. Asterisk. He's got Screw Attack, he's fine.
And we see what's behind Ridley, and it turns out to be a safety item in the Cane of Burnham.
Apathy does not have the bow yet, so he's going to have a little bit slower Vitreous fight.
Yeah, but he's got a Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I think
so
it's
he's fine.
Fire Rod, I think he's also missing from Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. Which he'll be probably making his trip on over to real soon to find out what he needs for Turtle Rock access.
Yeah, I'd like to see Apathy Duck come into Lower Norfair from here. It's as close as he's going to be to Lower Norfair than any other point in the game, especially since he's already finished Desert, right?
That's right.
Oh, nice speedball from Alucard. So this area here that Alucard is leaving. This is where you need 6 power bombs. Unless you have something else, like even having a spring ball. That jump right there that Alucard just made with the power bomb jump. That's the one part where having spring ball, I think, plays into logic in normal mode, if it even does. Apathy Duck has a full beam combo, so every time you see Gold Treezo flash, that's 900 damage, and from a crouch location, if you hold L and R, you can aim straight up, and the plasma beam will actually double hit the Gold Treezo, so he gets 1,800 damage per shot.
And the result is a very fast Treezo fight.
Bet you wish you had Screw Attack, so that you could break those blocks more easily.
That was just a little bit of a swing and a miss there for Apathy Duck. Just a little to the left. What is that quote? Just a bit outside?
Baseball? I was thinking of JFK, actually. Back into the left.
Okay, that works too. Three Musketeer room here for Alucard now. He's got 385 health, plus reserves. He's fine.
Alucard's picking up these supers more to have ammo now, rather than increase his max count.
Yeah, he was at 3 supers.
So I wasn't lying earlier when I said they didn't need more ammo.
I believe you.
Man, where are those high jump boots? Apathy grabs the Bombos. He has not yet checked the T-Rock lock, so for all he knows, he could need that. Yeah, he could also need it for Ice Palace.
Yeah, because he hasn't gotten the fire rod either, so he might need the bombos for more than one reason. Which way do you think Alucard's going next? Is he doing Meridia next?
Absolutely not. In Alucard's words, hard pass.
Why is it a hard pass for him?
That's just what he says. Because he doesn't have a gravity suit.
Ah, good point, yeah. Does apathyduck do Meridia after he's done with this?
Quack, quack, quack.
He's gonna check catfish?
What?
That seems out of the way.
Quackfish? Alucard's gonna probably do Skull Woods. Because there we have a crystal dungeon, and unlike apathyduck, Alucard has fire rod at this point, so that's gonna be a nice pickup clear for Alucard. And I don't know if apathyduck threw in any overworld checks, but if not, Alucard might also be a little more thorough. Check out the bumper cave, since they do have the cape, and check out the mirror ledge. One thing Alucard will not have is the Pegasus boots to open up King's Tomb. But he can go back to that very easily with the Titan's Mitt.
Where are the flippers that puts that in logic?
That's a good question, because apathyduck hasn't really opened up anything from that sequence, so
just being able to beat Desert, that was it.
Yeah, he gains time for that sequence break, but didn't really get any significant knowledge from it yet.
Watch the flippers be on the pedestal.
Oh boy, I don't want to watch.
Oh wait, yeah, it could be on the pedestal.
Swamp Palace, Ice Palace, both crystals. Although, well, let's see.
Desert Palace is also a crystal because of the fact the boots were behind.
Right. Pod. Thera.
We might need some therapy after this seed.
Thieves Town.
Readily done for apathyduck. He was going to skip the Cane of Burna, but decided, no, I might actually want a safety for once.
Huh.
Skips a bottle of the digging game, picks up Cane of Burna. Okay.
I don't know, man. He's 4 tiles from a heart container and doesn't pick it up. But
he picked up the bug catching net after passing up the bottle.
Bug net. But he has got a bottle, so like I get it. Like he doesn't need a second bottle. I'll let that one go, skipping on the extra bottle, but the bug net and the blue cane, after not walking 4 tiles for a heart containers, raises an eyebrow.
How many eyebrows do you have raised at this point with all these things these both have done?
I have...
Uh-oh!
So, fun fact... Wow, this is going to take him back to when he transferred from Misery Mire into Lower Norfair. So he didn't lose a... he lost a good amount of progress. But he lost the Ridley kill, but he did not lose anything like he did recently before that because of the autosave, thankfully.
Right. The more annoying thing about this is the time aspect.
Yeah, and Ridley... takes longer to, get to than any of the other bosses. He's not really close to any portals. Well, that's unfortunate. But I was gonna say, as far as apathyduck and picking up safeties, I have to just acknowledge the fact that he made it to this round in the tournament and I did not. So,
and just to explain, and this was something that I had picked up here from watching the just recently completed Super Metroid multi-category tournament. When you get into your reserves, your reserve energy, when you get hit by something and it does your auto fill up, you can still get hit.
Yeah,
so you could get double the hits.
That depends on how much energy you're refilling. So I think I don't know the exact number of frames, but I think it's something like, if Ozzer, please bail me out. Let's just say that it's 120 frames. It takes 120 frames for your iframes to run out. So like basically your iframe timer is going off while you're refilling. It's kind of like getting microwaved at.
It just says 90.
90. Okay. So I think the refill animation is 1 frame per energy.
And the problem was,
and during that process,
High
the
jump
iframes
boost.
can run out and make you vulnerable for a double hit. And he was taking damage from the platform. So we mentioned earlier that Varia gives you 75% damage reduction against environment. However, spiky platforms aren't environment. Spiky platforms are enemies. And apathyduck needs the Bombos based on the knowledge that he has.
Mm-hmm. Because again, he doesn't know what Turtle Rock is, so he's going to go backtrack to get to this on his way back over to Ridley. So that was the only thing he really lost. But that was an unfortunate death here that will give Alucard a little bit of time, because, you know, apathyduck was gaining a little bit of what may be a lead. We don't know at this point until these two kind of get a little closer to each other as far as items are concerned.
Now, am I mistaken? Did you just say Alucard grabbed high jump boots?
Yeah,
Or...
it was in the big chest of Skull Woods.
Okay. That is something. So I'm envisioning a scenario where nothing is in Meridia and Gravity Suit is hard locked behind something. In that situation, high jump boots is fantastic because it's going to make it way easier to get out of Dragon's room if you somehow want to skip Gravity Suit.
So here's the room that apathyduck took the death in on his way back from Ridley. We'll see how his Ridley fight part 2 goes. And the biggest thing for a runner of this caliber is calming yourself down after that incident occurs.
Yeah, I lost my tournament race by I just got tilted. I had a bad early game and I let it turn into a bad game, so let's hope apathyduck still has enough momentum to keep his head in it. Which, so far, it's looking like he does.
Now, we know that Alucard does have to go into Thieves Town because the ice rod that is needed for this is in there. Question is does Alucard bail after the first 4, getting 3 out of the 4 items? Does he go to Turtle Rock? Because that is completely open to him.
Not without Hammer.
That's right, it's not open to him.
Yeah, Hammer's for sure the biggest item that we're missing right now. Flippers and Gravity Suit are also way up there. One of them.
The Ridley kill for apathyduck.
Wait. What? Oh, Pod is in logic because of Aghanim. Oh my goodness. So, logically, to get to Pod from Link to the Past from here, you would need Flippers, unless you can kill Aghanim and walk over to Pod from there. There are ways to fake Flipper and get over to Pod without them and without killing Aghanim, but this could be a logical Aghanim to get into Pod for Hammer.
Yeah, and in that case, we're going to see one or both of these runners try to pull off the Kern jump.
It's pronounced Kerns. Ooh, he card reads good. I'm sorry, that reminded me of a line from The Simpsons.
By the way, Alucard did not go into Thieves Town.
He opened it, though.
He opened it, but he didn't go in.
He opened it and then walked to the left. I'd say if you're going to open it, walk south. But what do I know? I didn't make it to this stage in the tournament. That looks like one of the dungeons from Zelda 1. I don't know which one.
Level 6.
Level 6, that's what it...
First quest, level 6.
He does dabble in Z1R. I wonder if that's what he was going for.
In that case, I don't know what that ink blot is. apathyduck getting through the spikes this time around, and will pass up a piece of heart at this point, which is understandable. You're gonna go.
Blue cane. Or did he get the blue cane after defeating Ridley again?
I don't know. I was actually paying attention. That is a good question. I was more concerned about Alucard passing up on the Thieves' Town.
But it could be Hammer on Blind.
That would be completely evil.
Yeah, but only an evil person like Twitch chat would wish that upon our runners.
Well, there's 400 people here. They probably can wish it all they want.
And let me clarify, guys. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you individually. But Twitch chat is evil.
Alucard's gonna be checking Magic Bat here. Did Apathy check this?
No, Apathy. This is Apathy's first time in this room.
No. I meant
I'm
the
sorry,
bat.
The bat? Oh.
Just a E-tank, but I was wondering if that was something that Apathy checked on his earlier route. And Alucard's about to pick up the bottle from the purple chest. As apathyduck now finishing off with a trip to Norfair.
So what is even in logic right now, besides Pyramid Pod?
Well...
Mushroom?
Oh yeah, that mushroom we've picked up way back when. Which turns out to be...
Nothing crack, yeah.
Nothing.
You could use that to buy potions. Alright, well, Alucard is close to Zora, and that might put sequence breaking in the Pyramid Fairy on his mind.
Does he flute 8? He does not. He flutes the 3.
Likely gonna dip Thieves Town now, since there's nothing else over here, right? Oh boy.
So. Remember when the seed gave us everything really, really fast? And you were talking about how this wasn't going to be a 3-hour seed?
It gave us Aghanim access really fast so that we could go into pod to get Flipper and Hammers, but we didn't do that.
We know where the Flippers, and we know what the Hammer's going to be. Right?
Shack Tool.
Oh, God. I was thinking the first check of Swamp Palace, but that's just as evil. Or even more evil.
The dream. Okay, Apathy is going to do his Dark World Death Mountain stuff, which is going to mean bow, and it's going to mean Ice Rod, but it doesn't mean switching over to Hera.
You mean Fire Rod?
Yes, the hot Ice Rod. I didn't specify.
Isn't hot Ice Rod just water?
Water Rod?
Shovel was nothing. We saw that earlier. All right. Next up. Where is Alucard off to now? Oh, that's right. He's about to go get his tempered sword out of Pipe Cave. There's the fire rod for apathyduck, as Alucard will be picking up this tempered sword right there.
So, do we do Aghanim for pod access, or do we do Green Pendant Hera?
We current jump our way to pod.
Apathyduck's going to be a little disappointed that the Bombos that he picked up twice is not going to be required. Well, here's the thing about Thieves Town. Thieves Town doesn't matter until Alucard finds the hammer. And he can't get into Turtle Rock without the hammer. So that's something, perhaps.
Piece of heart on the bombos as Apathy gets ready to mirror and head into the Tower of Hera.
All right, here we go. So 2 items in Tower of Hera, plus a green pendant turn-in, plus an ether tablet afterward, and a spike cave, perhaps. So this
And you know,
general area about 5 items.
and you know the neat thing is that apathyduck can route in the green pendant turn-in when he goes to do the Eastern and Palace of Darkness plays, because he just picked up that bow.
Eastern, but not Palace of Darkness unless he grabs hammer or does something else silly.
Well, maybe he
And
might still dip into Palace of Darkness. I mean, the hammer only blocks off 1 item.
Okay, he got a shield, so that was 1 item in Hera.
And that was enough
And
for him to say, nope, I'm out of here.
The other one had to have been a key of some sort. So, picking up 1 of 3 items and then leaving. And here we go, Alucard is in Thieves Town.
Can't do this.
Oh, you need a hammer. You need a hammer. I even told him to go in there. I'm going to blame myself.
As he goes to the hammer that he does not have, and
You know what?
finds out.
That's okay. We've all done that. But you
Yeah.
know what's even sillier than going into Spike Cave without hammer?
What?
Going into Spike Cave without a glove.
I've done that too. Didn't Patty do that once?
Yes, he did.
Like in one of the Link to the Past tournaments, I think. Alucard's out of here. He's got 3 out of 4 items. Judging by this route, Alucard is going to be doing Kern Jump now.
Yeah, he's already gotten all the overworld stuff and Skull Woods here, so he's gonna go ahead and head over to Pod. Maybe it's clicked in his mind that Pod is indeed in logic through Aghanim.
It's much easier trying to do this Kern Jump than it is to spend the 4 minutes to go up Agath's Tower.
Faster. So yeah, everybody watch Alucard's screen on the left here. He's gonna show us a nifty little trick here.
You lay down the bomb, pick it up, and jump, and you miss. And there he goes. The bomb's blast will blow you into the right spot where you can do a screen transition, and the screen transition puts you into fake flipper mode just like you would down on Lake Hylia.
Yeah, this also means a catfish check. That is all. A catfish and pyramid on his way to Pod.
As Apathy will get the disappointment that the pedestal, or the celebration, maybe for him, that the pedestal is not required this seed.
And our lovely tracker Siryu has posted the relevant clip of Patty forgetting the gloves.
Oh, 2017.
Okay, so Alucard is going to check Zora, which means he has to orphan. Well, unless he knows something I don't, he'll have to orphan Waterfall Cave. Actually,
that depends if he knows
splash deletion.
I was about to say that depends whether or not he knows splash deletion.
Yeah, if he could do a splash deletion, he does have the bow and enough bombs. If he does a splash deletion, he can get the fake flipper state and then, go into the cave and come back out with Moon Pearl like Apathy Duck did, but he won't have to swim as far. And I will just have to wait and see. That would be a really nice way for him to pick up Pegasus boots here.
Yeah, that would at least put him on even terms with what Apathy is able to move around the world with.
Oh,
because
if Alucard was gonna do that, he probably would have already done it, so he could water walk in Zora's domain. But maybe I don't know.
But I think maybe he's trying to keep the portal there because of the fact that he had to
Right.
jump his way over there. So he might be thinking about going to the Palace of Darkness afterwards. Fast Mothula kill there.
Absolutely, he wants to keep the portal. But what I'm saying is, if he were going to do the splash deletion, he would have done the splash deletion first, so that he could be in water walk for Zora's domain and walk on the dark tiles.
What is missing for Go mode? Well, we're still missing the same items that we were missing 40 minutes ago? Hammer, flippers.
Has this race even been going on for 40 minutes? I feel like it's flying by.
It's been going on for an hour 45 here at Cross Product. It's been flying by, but we've hit a big standstill.
An hour 45, that means it's time to plug our sponsor.
That's right. You want to talk about him?
Sure, rank1.global. You can see the links for the players' sites there. So go ahead, follow the runners. I'm going to go ahead and post that link in chat. We have links to their Twitch channels as well as their Rank 1 Global profiles. Rank1.global is a social media site by gamers for gamers. You can give updates on what games you're currently playing, share your favorite highlights and experiences from those games, and not only that, but Rank1.global has donated some cash prizes that these players are buying for right now.
Sorry to interrupt you on that nice little feed plug there that you ended up giving up for rank 1, but that grapple beam...
Grapple is a funny item. So, grapple beam is kind of like the bottle of in one sense, logically, the grapple beam in normal mode, grapple beam generally only opens up one item to Shack Tool. But grapple beam is also going to be useful if we end up having gravity be the last item we need for Go mode. Grapple beam is going to make one room. It's going to make a couple rooms in Suitless Meridia really fast, so that the runners could actually just forego getting gravity suit altogether, if it comes down to that. But is this our first check on Zelda Cell?
No, Apathy Duck went here a while ago. Like, I want to say one of his first trips into the Link to the Past. Maybe not his first, but his second trip in.
And if you guys missed Alucard's awesome current jump fake flipper thing, keep your eye on the right stream, because Apathy Duck will possibly be going for it right now.
I don't see why he wouldn't.
Alright, there's nothing else over here. He's done all the overworld thingies, Skullwoods and what.
And so we take a look and see what Apathy Duck's little setup here is. He got rid of the rather painful enemy that wanted to play nice with him as well. Misses on the first bomb. Can he get it second try? No.
So I'm guessing they line up with this tree as kind of a buffer for the fuse timer. But
there we go.
First try.
First try every time.
All
right, Palace of Darkness time. Apathy Duck has had these boots for an hour now. And here we go. Time for Alucard to dive his way into the Palace of Darkness. 141 rupees. Gonna have to be careful. He can only mess us up 4 times. What in the world was that? Did you see what was that on Apathy Duck's side?
Did you buy a potion?
That screen looked weird. for a moment.
Aww. So yeah, the big progression items we're missing are hammer and flippers. We still have 1 item and 1 green pendant turn in for Tower of Hera, as well as every item in pod except for the drop from Helmet Sword King. I think we've gotten everything in Super Metroid. All the other locations are in Meridia, so that would require Gravity Suit. We got both tablets, right?
Yes, we did.
And we don't have flippers for Ice Palace either, so. Flippers and hammer and Gravity Suit. One of them's gotta be either pod or Hera, right?
Or the 4th item in Thieves Town.
Oh, don't remind me.
Here's Apathy going to check the pyramid, and you're going to see both of these in the dungeon at the same time. We've got ourselves the big key in the first chest here for Alucard, and thankfully we have a mirror that was going to be making this a whole lot easier.
Yeah, this is... You kind of have to route pod backwards when you don't have hammer.
That's not where you step into the teleporter. That's a good way of mirror bonking. On top of the rock. 3rd try.
I'm not... Oh, he's going to Eastern, huh? Or I'm just going to shut up and watch.
It looks like he's heading for Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and he can leave the portal there and come into pot. But why would he...
Yeah.
Okay. I guess he's just assuming his progression is going to be in Eastern. Maybe apathyduck
Flippers!
Okay, so... That's Ice Palace, right? And first just a swamp?
And the boots Alucard's missing.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe Apathy hasn't figured out that pod is in logic. But then he did all the other stuff. Like, he did Pyramided Catfish. So he probably does know they're in logic, but... I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, Cross Product. If you don't know, I don't know.
This is your game. I'm merely here for the Super Metroid insight. You're the Link to the Past guy.
Okay. That doesn't know I know what's going on here with the apathyduck for sure. Spazer. That's 2 items so far here in Palace of Darkness.
The nice thing about picking up Spazer here is that it won't turn off Plasma Beam because basically I love Total, but I'm gonna call him out because lazy coding. So in Super Metroid, the game glitches if you have Plasma and Spazer equipped at the same time. So in Super Metroid, if you pick up Plasma or Spazer, it will turn off the other one if you have it. That code already exists in Super Metroid and still works in Combo Rando. But since Total is writing all of the code to write items to your Super Metroid game from Link to the Past, he simply just has it not turn on rather than check. But anyway, it turns out to be a good thing for Alucard right now because he's got Plasma Beam and he won't want to turn on Spazer.
So, Flippers down in the Palace of Darkness, that was the major item. So we saw the bombs, which at this point, because of the power bombs, it's more of a QO, quality of life item.
Oh, we got, what, 300 rupees from the hobo for Alucard coming up?
That's right. And not much he's needing to spend them on at this stage. As Alucard dives into the water, he's going to go check the Pyramid Ferry at, not the Pyramid Ferry, he's going to go check the Waterfall Ferry, get his boots, which is, again, something that Duck has now had it for an hour. And we know that Alucard needs them for the upcoming dip into Desert Palace because there was a key on the torch. Here he goes to the portal. And then after that, it's time to dive into Ice Palace, where we get to see Alucard pull off the icebreaker glitch. Still trying to figure out what apathyduck was up to in regards to the mirror portal. Probably thinking that there's going to be something here at the end of Eastern Palace. And no, Alucard is going to be finishing Desert first. So, Eastern done for apathyduck, temporarily giving him a 4-3 crystal lead. And both runners with 3 bosses killed in the Super Metroid side. We are still looking to find where the hammer and gravity suit are.
First, just a swamp. We already figured it out.
That's right. That's what I said. Duck checking Ice Rod Cave at the hour 55-minute mark, and if this had something in it, you'd know Duck would be feeling real bad about his current standing, but we know it's nothing. Just one of those heart containers he passed up earlier.
Yeah, right? You're gonna take this heart container whether you like it or not.
And getting that piece of heart there for Alucard means he is done with this Desert Palace. Just got to finish off with the boss. Yeah, Duck fluting to 3. Apparently that's not where he wants to go.
Desert Palace is a 5-6 crystal, but Pyramid Fairy is going to be off the table until they find the hammer. So, could still be Gravity Suit there.
Uh-oh.
What happened? See a bug?
No. That's right. I was thinking something evil, but it can't be. I was thinking something evil, but yeah, it definitely can't be. I was thinking, but unfortunately, Swamp Palace being part of the 5-6 combo means the hammer can't be a pyramid.
Hmm.
All right. We get to see apathyduck getting ready to pull off this Hera pot. Trying to line himself up in the proper position, puts down a bomb, now trying to line himself up here, and gets it. First try. That was really, really fast there from Duck.
Yeah, didn't even pause buffer, just use some sword swings. I know everybody wants to see Hammer on pedestal, but it's already been checked, so what is the worst place it could be, you think?
Shack Jewel or Swamp Palace at this point?
I'm going with blind.
50 rupees, that's the second item, so now time to head to Moldorm. So Alucard starting over here at the Sanctuary because he's going to be checking these 2 boot locations first.
Solid Moldorm fight for Apathy. With Tempered Sword, it's 1 swing, 1 spin.
And so now there's the green pendant for apathyduck, and if this does not turn out to be of anything of substance here for apathyduck, he's going to have to make the same great kern jump to get back to the other side.
Yeah. Did it and then didn't do pod. But he... just gonna turn in the green pendant first, I guess?
Yeah. At this point, you're pretty much putting all your eggs in the basket on this pendant. And what do we want to see at the green pendant? Get your guesses in the chat. Here we go. Time's up.
Bottle. The 4th bottle. Oh.
Boomerang.
It's something. It's something that Alucard's gonna find in a few minutes, it seems.
Yep, it looks like Alucard's got his mind set on heading over towards the Tower of Hera. As apathyduck goes back into Super Metroid.
Did he even do wrecked ship yet? I guess not. There was something in wrecked ship, right?
Didn't he already do Wreck Ship? He already did Wreck Ship. I mean, Pantoon's already dead. He's got Ether.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong track. I was looking at the Dragon one. Please, Dead Rock.
Oh, it's checking X-ray.
Good call. With Space Jump or Grapple Beam, both of which he has. You can get this one orphaned location. So there was something I forgot in Super Metroid. On the one hand, I guess I'm glad I'm not in this race because I would have forgotten it. But on the other hand, I probably would have gotten it. I would have at least tried to get it my first time here. With so many E-Tanks and Varia shoot, I would have tried the damage boost and then probably given up after 2 minutes.
All right.
High jump boots.
Stepping onto a spike before you can land the jump.
Oh, this is a situation where Spring Ball could have saved him some time.
It's just a missile, and there's the reset.
Blind? What? I mean, I guess first just a swamp, a little bit of Ice Palace, and blind. None of the locations that you want to check.
Why not?
Because they take forever. It's a whole waste of time flow chart you were talking about.
And apathyduck going back into Link to the Past, this time here to Lake Hylia. He's going to go ahead and set his flute up. And where is our next stop on the chart? It's 2-3.
2-3.
Is this going to be Curtain Jump Part 2, or is this going to be finishing off Thieves Town?
Oh, I don't even know what I don't even know what's worse.
Alucard is going to be finding out that the green pendant was just the bloomerang as well, and apathyduck is not doing Thieves Town, not doing Kern Jump.
Magic Bat.
Magic Bat, yes. He didn't do this earlier. We mentioned that earlier. This is when you start feeling really bad. And you can tell it based on how he's routing this. Ice Palace time!
So, with the new Icebreaker tech, you can get a couple more item checks in here without the hammer than you used to be able to.
That's right, but obviously they're not in logic, and we're being told that Alucard does not do the Icebreaker, so he's going to play this right straight to logic at this stage.
Actually, I guess it's only one more item, right? The big key chest.
That's right, yeah. One.
Still get without hammer.
Yep.
That you can get without hammer, I should say.
Yeah, because you can't get the one that's actually hammer blocked.
Right in the iced U room.
Yeah. All right,
No,
first test.
I'm sorry, the iced H room.
Yeah, that's right. The room that's after the U. Back into Thieves Town. Oh dear.
I mean, what are your options at this point?
Hell or hell?
They've already done Lower Norfair.
Well, hell maybe have just frozen over.
Maybe you meant Hellway, because that's a room in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and we're talking about the frozen over one that Alucard's in right now.
I mean, to go 2 hours without a hammer, that is probably what's going on. Oh, there we go. There's that key dash bonk.
And here comes the Hellway. Ouch. Ouch. Don't die.
Come on, you've got blue, Kane. Or do you? Actually, did we remember to check his menu?
That's right. We'll have to check this when he goes to his menu to switch to bombs.
Equipped the powder, but didn't use it yet. Oh, yeah, let's see.
Missiles, that's item 4, and he does not have the cane burn anymore.
Okay.
So he's finishing this dungeon. He's got he's got all 4 items out of. There he goes. He's out.
I don't know if he mirrored because he despawned the bomb, or if he...
No, he finally realized that he's got all 4 items.
Oop. So... Swamp Palace Dream? Maybe? I guess? But apathyduck has to... mirror and check.
apathyduck's going to stop here at the sanctuary to get some health back before he tries to do the current jump.
I thought he was just checking the item. Make sure I pick this up. Alright, check. No, that's true. I guess the bomb does half a heart of damage, right? Back to the blue mail.
All right, current jump part number 2. It took apathyduck 4 tries to get it on the first go around. Let's see if he can do it first time this time.
Well, I still have the spike chest, I think.
Yes, it does. apathyduck just barely missed it that time.
This room that Alucard's just leaving, I think it looks like an egg with a crack in it. You know, one of them square eggs.
I've not seen too many eggs that are square.
Oh, it looks like something with a crack in it. And then I know where your mind's going, Rick, and don't you do it.
Where is my mind?
Wow. I didn't know we were going to get philosophical here. Oh, man.
He prolonged it. Oh, God. Game. Why?
So, what do we have? Exactly 2 locations still?
Yeah.
Now, does Allie want to do first chest to Swamp, or does he want to go check X-Ray first? It's a kitty!
Oh! Denied. It's the dream. I think we're in a nightmare world right now, Alucard. I think we're in a nightmare world, Alucard.
1 or 4. 1 or 4. Oh, he's gonna do Thieves Town first.
Oh.
Dang it, dude. So many one-offs we need to go back and check, and apathyduck's gonna finally check Pod and get his big lot of nothing. I guess Flippers.
Yeah, which is going to probably push him into Ice Palace and do what Alucard did. It's the right choice versus, I mean, you have 1 chest that you can check in Swamp Palace that's not even guaranteed to be anything, because it could be a dungeon item for all we know.
Yeah, and you've got 1 item in Thieves Town that could be locked behind Hammer.
Good point. This is the only way Alucard has Dark World access, so he had to go this way anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we have another way we can get to the Dark World, but they haven't really went that direction yet.
What, Meridia?
Okay, they have 2 ways.
Oh, you meant Aghanim.
That's right, the 4-minute thing called Aghanim.
Suitless Meridia, Aghanim. Suitless Meridia, Aghanim.
I don't know about you, but I would choose Aghanim at that point.
I would choose Suitless Meridia, because I'd at least be checking items on the way.
Why must you be so right?
But it's probably still slower. I'm not sure.
All right. There's the missile pack. Alucard, that's 4. Does not even bomb. Mirrors out. That's it. We're done.
All right. Get your Alu believes in chat.
I just remember back 2 hours ago when we had that great arraignment of items to begin this seed that you're talking about how this wasn't going to turn into a 3-hour seed.
All right, let me be honest. If I were in this race, it would be 3 hours. Still, I don't know.
If I was,
there's not much left that they need. They just need hammer and gravity suit, right? And like I said, they've got the stuff to just skip gravity suit. Like this is gonna be either hammer or gravity suit. If it's in hammer, I'm calling this go mode. If it's gravity suit, then that just means hammer's in Meridia.
if I was playing the seed, we may have to preempt our stuff that we have scheduled for tomorrow afternoon here on Speed Gaming.
All right. I'll take 3 hours off your final time if you work on the schedule first.
Okay. Nah. All right, we have one check inside of the Swamp Palace after we get this first one. It's always guaranteed to be a key when we're not playing Key Sanity.
And when you are playing Key Sanity, it's really troll when that's a key.
Exactly, because it's going to be a last location key at that point.
What's it going to be?
And there's our hammer.
Hey, he can finish Swamp Palace.
And he can also do...
Merry Christmas, Junior present.
And we can finish Palace of Darkness if we need to, but...
Alright, so for my money, maybe full clear Swamp while you're here. Do Palace of Darkness, kill Cold Stare. If you haven't gotten Gravity Suit yet, well, I guess you could do Turtle Rock too. Like, I'm not going out of my way for Gravity Suit. On the other hand, there are so few places it can be still. Huh. I guess it's probably... Yeah, it's probably faster to full clear all the dungeons to guarantee Gravity Suit for Meridia, even though you're only going through a couple of rooms.
As we welcome in the viewers that are joining us here from the raid on Speed Gaming 3, this is the final of the round of 16 matches of the SMZ3 tournament presented to you thanks to our friends at rank1.global. We have Alucard facing off against apathyduck, and we just came to the revelation of the hammer's location here in Swamp Palace. I'm Adirondack Rick, and I'm being joined by Cross Product here, 2 hours, 12 minutes into the seed. How's it going?
Well, is Alucard gonna just... Oh, he doesn't know the diver guy.
Yeah, he's not gonna do diver down. Meanwhile, apathyduck is going to do the icebreaker, and so therefore he's going to go into this room to the right-hand side. He's going to put out his Cane of Samaria. That's not the Cane of Samaria. There it is. And so therefore he's going to try to do a one-frame move to the left. And there he's going to try to get himself stuck to the wall, and then push the block some more, walk through the wall, and get himself a missile pack.
And that was an item that Alucard was unable to check without knowing the icebreaker tech, but not going to miss it. But he is going to possibly have to route Ice Pellets a little longer if he's still looking for Gravity Suit.
Go back to get those 2 checks, yeah. And apathyduck is going in this direction. Mirrors. Oh, he has got no key. Oh, because he can't lift up the block that normally has the key inside, so therefore he's locked in that side, so he's gonna take the long way around to get to the other side of this ice palace. Yeah, no keys, can't go through there, because you try to go to the hookshot room and there's that door that it stays permanently shut.
Yeah, in my early days of Link to the Past Randomizer, I always forgot.
Oh! 12 hours, 14 minutes, and 4 seconds. Alucard is in go mode with that Gravity Suit pickup.
he was already in go mode. But yeah, skipping the left side of swamp was the play to make. It's always usually a good idea if you're one item from go mode, but here we go. And meanwhile, apathyduck still has to get his last Ice Palace checks in before he can even think about getting that hammer out of first chest of swamp.
Which means Alucard does not have to worry about checking those right chests. He can just go right straight to Cold Star at this stage.
Yeah, that's right. So not really gonna lose out for missing the icebreaker there. He's gonna go to do Meridia first, which is pretty good. He's already in the Dark World, near this portal.
Yep, and then he can take the portal out and head over to Ice Palace after he's done. So we can maybe switch on over to Alucard now. I don't think we have to worry about him going to Hidden Hell or going to do his double beeps at this stage.
Oh, he clipped through the stairwell.
So all Alucard needs to do now is get to Dre going.
I love those out of bounds tile. I think those actually show up in vanilla if you come out of that missile refill room. I'm not 100% sure though. I guess you might see him in 100% map completion if that's the case.
And Alucard now getting ready to head down to Dragon. Are we going to have fried today, or are we going to just
Microwave
it?
Yeah, we're actually going to get to see it now. Practicing his short charges just for the fun of it. So Alucard's going to start in a crouch here because when Dragon dies, it forces Samus to stand up, so he'll know when he has to stop buffering hits.
And here we go, using the X-ray scope, getting as much damage as he can, and there it is, Dragon dead, just like that.
Yep, Dragon's got 6,000 energy, and Alucard's current beam situation does 900 damage, so he only has to buffer 7 hits in that shot.
So he's going to go back to the portal, head into Ice Palace, and we have to say that Alucard's got a very decent lead at this stage because apathyduck, because he doesn't have the hammer, can't go to that portal.
Right, he had the right idea, but forgot that what brought him to this point was the fact that he can't go that way.
Just a reminder for the people wondering about the stakes of this race, the winner they'll be moving on to the quarterfinals where they'll be facing off against Aussie.
The Aussie?
The Aussie, that's right.
The guy that won all the Super Metroid tournaments at SG Live?
That Aussie. But also stay tuned, we got a lot of great races coming up this week, as the quarterfinals do definitely begin.
So even without Icebreaker, Alucard can still do Ice Palace pretty fast. I think like a normal start to finish, Icebreaker saves about 30 or 30 seconds or something. It's less than you think it would be because you still have to add a couple extra screen transitions to hit the crystal switch. But Icebreaker, no, we've already seen Alucard do the bomb jump.
And just because somebody was inquiring, they cannot check the state of each other's position right at this point. And don't forget, these runners are running on a 10-minute delay, so what they would be seeing is the other runner on a 10-minute prior, so it's not really that beneficial at this stage in the run, as Apathy's about to go pick up his hammer. So coming up in the next round, in the quarterfinals, that round begins tomorrow on a channel to be decided real soon by somebody who knows what they're talking about here. We have Pizza34 versus Ivan.
Don't you write the schedule?
That's who I'm talking about. And then coming up on the 6th, at 8:10 p.m. Eastern, Maniacal versus Solski. That should be a real fun match. And they already got Apathy Duck and Tracy on the commentary for that. That's going to be a real fun booth. And then the other quarterfinal is Asder versus Dragon Dark. And now here's the thing. The winner of the quarterfinals, they're in the money round.
Yeah, top 4 finishers, right? So the 2 semifinalists and the finalists and their opponent.
That's right.
The 2
semifinalists will be earning a minimum $50 in prize money. The finalist who does not win the tournament, the runner-up, will be getting $100, and the champion will be getting $125 thanks to our friends at rank1.global, who is helping to fund this tournament. We do thank them for their sponsorship. We should give them one more plug.
Rank1.global, a social media site for gamers, by gamers. Share your recent playthroughs and your favorite all-time moments with your friends. We even have a community page for SMZ3 combo randomizer.
You can even share those wonderful moments like Apathy Duck pulling off the diver down right there.
I'm sick of these heart containers. I'm sure.
And of course, the fun for Apathy Duck is going to be in just a moment when he does actually get the gravity suit, which means he won't have to worry about the suit list, but he probably at that point will be groaning because he knows that Alucard will have that guaranteed. All right, we still have some more business to take care of over here, but what does Alucard do first? Does he go and do Turtle Rock into Ganon's tower first, or does he finish off Mother Brain first?
Well, if you were going to Mother Brain, he would have already saved and quit and pressed reset, right?
That's right, so he's not doing that. So he's going to go finish off Link to the Past first, so we've got Turtle Rock first.
We've already got high jump boots, spring ball, speed boosters, space jump, all the beams. There isn't really anything to make Mother Brain any faster. So I think it's technically still faster to do Mother Brain first, just because a lot of the cutscene stuff that doesn't happen after defeating Mother Brain doesn't happen if you defeat her first. But it's, I don't know.
Apathy going here to Ice Palace to finish that off first. Which leads me to believe that Duck's going to do it in the opposite direction. That he's going to do Meridia finish off with Dragon. Well, actually, no, he can't do a save. He can't just reset at that point because
he could go back into the portal and then reset without having to go through a menu.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll auto save and save himself a select menu.
That's right. People reminding us about how close this race would be if Apathy Duck didn't take that unfortunate death post-Ridley in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I'm thinking that had to have lost close to 5 minutes. 2 to 5 minutes. Just off the top of my head.
All right, if you didn't get to see it the first time around, you get to see it again. Here's Icebreaker from Apathy Duck. Hey, there's our Quake. That we don't need.
Well, I thought you needed Quake to get into Turtle Rock.
Well, you see, Mr. Cross Product, in Link to the Past Randomizer and in SMZ3, it has been randomized what is the entry requirements into this dungeon. You see, in this case, you needed either to get inside, which was the requirement for both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. Please press 1 to stay on the line.
0. Operator.
Welcome to the SMZ3 menu helpline. For English, please press 1. For Spanish, please press 4.
4. You said that in English. You have to say that in Spanish. For Primero Española Número Dos. I don't know Spanish.
I don't know either, which is why I wasn't going any further.
But I do know
say,
Alucard
say toi.
Toi, that's French.
Yes.
Für Deutsch. Für.
Moving on now.
Hey, did you guys know, in case you missed the message that the bot just posted in chat a few minutes ago, there are foreign language speed gaming channels with people that actually speak these languages. Got one for French, German, and Spanish, and I believe Portuguese?
That's correct. And codes are down for apathyduck. Did we get the big key yet or no?
I'm gonna know as soon as Alucard opens that door or not.
Funny Link.
Hey, that's you, but with the wrong color shirt.
I have purple tunic. I'm special.
Did you make a tunic out of Link's hat?
No.
Big key.
I thought this was supposed to be randomized.
Alright, Duck's gonna do Turtle Rock first.
So yeah, so he's going to do the same path as Alucard is. So we have a complete indicator on what our game situation is. And boy,
Well, Apathy still has to defeat Dragon.
how about that? We don't have a true indication of what the current situation of this race is.
It's just what you see plus Dragon. Until Alucard goes into... Well, if Apathy's doing Turtle Rock, he's going to do GT after. Yeah. Just add Dragon to that, and you got yourself a deal. Oh my gosh, they both equipped the lamp here! Alucard tried to open up the door with lamp. Apathy tried to open the portal with lamp.
If only the lamp did more than just lay out some fire. If that fire could actually do something in this game.
It lights torches.
Yippee yahoo yay.
But the real answer is just play Link's Awakening so the powder can light torches. And the boomerang can defeat anti-fairies.
Shout out to the boomerang in Link's Awakening.
The original. They nerfed it to heck in the remake. Although I think it still one-shots the last boss, which is something that I didn't actually know any time I had ever played Link's Awakening.
Spoilers.
That game's like 50 years old. That game's
50 years old? It's as old as Pong?
it's older than Link to the Past, at least in the timeline. No, wait, it's immediate. Never mind.
Let's not
We're
get
not
into
doing
the timeline
this.
discussion.
I've rescinded everything I said for the last 5 minutes, except that part where Link's Awakening is awesome.
Yes. Also, shout out to its randomizer as well.
I had a hard time with that one, just because I absolutely hate door randos and entrance shuffles and things like that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Which obviously you'd have a real rough time when you're playing the Z1 with all the bells and whistles going.
That's not a whistle, it's a recorder.
That's right. Trinex fight coming up here for Alucard as we struggle to come up with ways to actually talk about this race at this point. Don't hug the ice head here, Alucard. Alright, Mr. Cross Product, are you ready?
I don't play that game, Rick. That's for Link to the Past rando. This is SMZ3 combo rando. But feel free to join along if you would like to. Also, Tile Room.
Alucard has picked up his 7th and final crystal and is about to go into Ganon's tower. I was ready for you to. I was just going to be ready to bring the hype, but apparently, since you brought that up, there are 22 possible locations where the big key can be in Ganon's Tower.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
You think Tile Room? This seed has been evil.
I think
Tile Room is probably the best place for it.
Tile Room and Alucard checks it immediately after Room of Hope. That's my prediction.
Let me go grab something to burn you with, Ben. I've got a loose fire starter brick from back when winter came to an end around here. I'm good to go. Here we go. In number 1, we find
There's
a small
the key. He might go right.
In number 2, we find a piece of heart to give Alucard 13 total hearts. He lays the switch with the block.
No,
He runs by it.
ruined my prediction.
So therefore, we do not burn Cross Product, which is a good thing because Cross Product is an awesome person who's been a really wonderful commentator partner for me today.
Ah, thanks. I'm having a great time with you too, Rick.
Absolutely. Be sure to follow this man. I hear he plays chess on his stream.
I make other people play chess on my stream. I'm bad at it, but
I'm worse than you are.
Follow Adirondack Rick as well. It's not a mean game of chess. It's literally chess randomizer. The bot just makes random moves. It looks at a list of legal moves and just picks one at pure random. For now.
We got ourselves a single arrow. Now we're gonna go over to the left-hand side, rather. And it looks like apathyduck's taking this the NMG style of going bottom first. Bottoms up gets the small key in the third one down.
Why would you do that? Just for fun?
Well, go to the very bottom.
Yeah, I guess because you're already dashing. It kind of
yeah, it's more the dashing aspect, and plus, again, that's what you're used to.
Sense.
And that's what you're used to doing in NMG, because that's where the key turns out to be.
And it makes sense because every time you start up a dash, you're losing time. So I guess if you didn't have boots, you would go top down.
Probably, yeah.
Kind of makes sense. Are we at Tile Room yet?
No. We just got ourselves power bombs in that room, which really is becoming more and more irrelevant. Apathyduck is finished off with the Trinex fight, about ready to go into Ganon's tower himself. Now, what if he does Tile Room for number 3? I mean, he'll still be behind because he's still got Dragon to finish. What if the big key's not here?
Then it's in Tile Room. Well, what you mean, like, what if it's in Swamp Palace?
Yeah.
I guess we still have
soon, by the way. Soon we will have that nightmare. Now let's see, Apathyduck starts us off by going straight to the left, which means he may be doing this Dark Magician style.
Well, if he does full left and the big key's not in Tile Room, then I think that means Apathyduck still has to defeat Dragon.
Well, yeah, he's still got to defeat Dragon no matter what. They're not going to let him into Turian without it.
He doesn't need the Turian key.
Butter!
The Torian big key was at Temple of Time. Lagros. So how many sprites does the silver arrow count as? 2 or 3? It seems like 7.
86.
As in, it just 86 is all of your frames?
Pile room!
Let's go! I told you, Alucard! You didn't believe! Fast versus fun, man!
Alright, here comes the tiles. They're spinning round and round. They're not hitting Alucard because he's got the cape equipped, and he's not draining the magic because he's hugging the wall.
Yeah, being in a pulling animation or grabbing animation makes some weird things happen in this game.
Doesn't drain your magic, but you can use that to your advantage when you have the magic cape and trying to push that stat or pull that statue in Skull Woods. There is the big key, number 22. If you guessed number 22, you win a pun from Cross Product. Take it away.
Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion? Because it was outstanding in its field. But you're only allowed to listen to that if you guess 20. If you didn't guess 22, you have to mute your stream retroactively.
You should have told me that right now. I would have muted the Hugh.
You should have muted me through 2 hours ago.
Oh, this isn't going to be a 3-hour seed.
It's not. Alucard just has to finish GT and defeat Mother Brain, right? That's going to be, what, maybe 20 minutes? It's not going to be 20. It's going to be like 10 minutes, 15. It's going to be sub 3. Let me put it that way.
2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to guess the finish time for Alucard at this point is going to be 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 19 seconds. And please bear in mind that there's a 10-minute delay, so I can't even look at the results right now to find out if that is the correct answer.
And if he did, he wasn't going to tell you anyway.
People are telling us that this seed looks really, really punishing. Well, if we really want to punish people, we can listen to another pun by Cross Product as we get ready to face off against Lamo 2.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. I gotta think of a SpeedGaming approved pun. Let's see here.
Okay, if you have to think that deeply about it, then maybe we should move on to something else. I mentioned it twice before. Just want to make a plug for it once more. Be sure to watch the other matches coming up here in the SMZ3 quarterfinals. Pizza34 versus Ivan, Maniacal versus Solsky, Astor versus Dragon Dark. The first one tomorrow, Pizza versus Ivan, at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Let me take a look at my calendar real fast. I can already tell you it's going to be on SpeedGaming 2. So there.
But did you publish a schedule yet, Rick?
No, I clicked the button though.
Hey, tile room. Yay. Anything Alucard could possibly want for this? Anything? Yeah, he doesn't need to check anything.
Yeah, you got gold sword, you got silver arrows, you've got 83,000 health in Super Metroid. There's nothing you need at this stage.
So did Alu miss K45, or did he just skip the bug net?
He did go into K45, but he opted not to pick it up.
Huh. Makes sense.
skipping the final chest of the Link to the Past game.
I didn't even know there was a chest there. I only watch Andy.
Andy sometimes spawns it.
When he doesn't have Pegasus boots.
Exactly.
Boy. It seems like the play of the game here was Alucard picking up Screw Attack.
Yeah, that seems to be what Chad's picking up right now. Of course, we can always talk about what the unfortunate death that Duck took. Like, that was just really unfortunate. Getting double hit by that spike coming out of Lower Norfair.
Yeah, the platform does 100 damage against Variusu, and we already talked about how the double hit occurs if you have more than 90 energy in reserves.
And there is the final hit on to Aghanim 2.
So if he actually had 1 to 89 energy in his reserves, he would have survived that hit. Now, he still would have been in a tough situation, but. Or I guess he could have had.
I was going to say, speaking of maintaining his health, he might want to do so here. Hour and a half a heart.
Could use the Bombos.
Does he? He's going to go to Cape Strats.
Yeah, it's a little safer than the Bombos even. Oh, Cape into picking up the heart.
Yeah. And the end design here, so he's going to go pick up this anti-fairy, I believe. Yep. Here he goes. Now, what that does is going to set off his Lammo 2 spawns right away, because the time you're picking up that actually activates it, but an alive duck is better than a dead duck at this stage.
Dripping from a dead duck's eye. That's the dog. Yeah, so as we were saying, the land molas actually spawn as soon as you enter the super room. So in the dungeons in Link to the Past, every super room is a 2x2 tile of rooms.
Yeah.
Right? Whether they're separate rooms or like long rooms.
Yeah.
And the bunny beam is in the same super room as the land mola.
Yeah, they refer to them as super tiles, but yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. What did I say? Super room?
Room.
Remember the lesson I taught you earlier today, Rick? If you don't know the name of something,
make it up. If you sound convincing, you can maybe get people to believe it, and maybe you can make a new exchange out of it. All right, get your G's into chat as Alucard has finished off the first section of this game. There we go. It is now time for Alucard to finish off the final stretch of this game.
I see an underscore G in there. I guess some people consider Link to the Past as the second G, even if you finish it first.
Well, we do call this the SMZ3, so the Z3 is the back part of it.
Now, apathyduck also is going to have silver arrows and a gold sword to defeat Ganon, so should be a pretty straightforward fight. And his big obstacle now is going to be remembering to defeat Dragon.
Yeah, it's not like we've seen runners get to the golden 4 here and have only 3 of the 4 come up and not spawn the elevator.
There's a pretty famous clip for that in the Super Metroid community.
Oh, yeah. We don't have to worry about that cutscene here, but here we go, Alucard into Torian. And how do you think Alucard's feeling at this point?
I don't know. I think I don't feel bad for missing that hammer because
it's in a nasty location.
Yeah, many people are going to last location that hammer there. He did actually skip X-ray room, right? So
yep. which is another move that apathyduck ended up going for.
Yeah, so Alucard might be counting his blessings in that regard. Of course, during a randomizer, the information in the seed is supposed to be secret, so runners are not allowed to watch each other's restream. So he has no idea that apathyduck actually died.
And like I said before, it would be a thing where he's 10 minutes at this point behind, and you're probably focusing on your stream every now and then, so he may not actually realize that apathyduck still has Drake on to go deal with.
Yeah, also just taking a look at the timer, the top runners that are going to be in the quarterfinals here, they're usually finishing around 2:30 to 2:45.
And we don't get a baby skip here from Alucard, so we've got a long draining of health here.
Yeah, so he's got his screw attack still on, so he's going to have a little trickier bit of a Zeb skip depending on the method he employs. He may go for a stand-up glitch against Motherbrain 3 as well. It's in the 2 to 3 transition. I have seen Alucard do the stand-up glitch with Varia suit still on, so I'd expect to see that out of him. And
get your G's in the chat for apathyduck. He is now finished off with his Ganon fight. And apathyduck's gonna go down to the portal. He does remember that he's got to do Dragon. And he's turning out. Alucard is turning off the screw attack.
Oh.
There he goes.
Was he trying to do us? Whatever. I don't know. Yeah, he had a couple of options there. There's a spring ball method that you can use at the second Zebetite. You could go for a speed skip, but that requires a stutter 3-tap short charge to a door transition. And if you don't even know what that means, then you can guess how hard it is. Then he could just use his excess ammo to blast through the Zebetites. That would be another option, but goes for turning off the screw attack, which isn't really going to make that much of a difference from this point in the run. If he does the Shine Spark in Escape Room 2. Well, I guess, yeah, Escape Room 2. Yeah, 20 charge shots from Motherbrain Phase 2. And then he'll want to get himself down to 7 E-tanks worth of energy in order to employ what we call the stand-up glitch.
Yeah, he also wants to kind of get his health down a little bit so he doesn't have to deal with 2 of those beams.
So if at this energy level, you can actually get Motherbrain to not lock you back down to the ground. So he'll actually be able to get some damage down on the Phase 3 of Motherbrain while the cutscene's going on. There are a couple of situations, a couple of points where you have to be off of the ground or else you get crouch locked onto the ground. But X-Ray Scoop allows you to break out of that. So, going to be a pretty safe stand-up, I think.
Looks like apathyduck missed his opportunity to try to activate Blue Suit.
Yeah, if he was jumping into the electrical sockets on the wall, then that method of getting a flash shoot is pretty difficult if you have Spring Ball.
So now Duck done with the Dragon fight. Just hands to get his way over to Torian to finish things off. And now we really can talk about what could have been here for Duck. As Alucard in the lead. And all this damage that Alucard's doing right now to Motherbrain 3 is currently loading up. That is it. We're done.
Yep. Only took 5 hyper beam shots there. Optimally, you can get her energy low enough to defeat her with one hyper beam, but nobody's perfect except for Behemoth.
I hear Behemoth is really good at this.
He's my hero because he doesn't use angle down.
Oh my goodness, could Alucard get out of this in the next 3 minutes? I don't know if he's got enough time.
Time?
This might be a little nerve-wracking here. I don't know if he might have enough time to get out of this escape. I'm worried, Cross Product. Look at that time ticking.
He's a professional, don't worry.
Alucard makes me worry no matter what. Yeah, down to 150 seconds. I don't think he can make it, Cross Product.
Oh, we missed a ledge grab. Oh.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. That's it. He's fried. Getting bothered by the steam. Oh no! What can he do? Gets on the ship. Get your GGs in the chat as Alucard is moving on in the tournament into the quarterfinals and has defeated apathyduck.
Now he gets to race Aussie.
That's right. His adrenaline's probably really pumping at this point. Official SRL time, 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 39 seconds. GG's to Alucard.
Sub 3, what'd I tell you?
And we'll see if apathyduck is able to pull off the baby skip in just a moment.
Good morning.
He isn't.
Good night.
Hello, and we welcome in here the winner of this match, Alucard. What is going on?
Going on is
You didn't
not
believe.
like you're gonna win and then winning. That's what's going on.
Didn't believe.
I didn't.
You chose fast over fun and got neither.
Speaking of fast, you chose something else fast, Mr. Alucard. What was with your double beeps?
I mean, I don't hear the single beeps, so I just need the double beeps to reassure me that I'm beeping.
All right, we'll get into we'll roast you about that in just a few moments. Have you had the opportunity to see what wound up happening to Duck during any post-race chat you may have had with him?
Yeah, I heard he had an unfortunate death in Lower Norfair that cost him
Yep.
a amount of time.
Yeah, post Ridley death that really set the tone for what wound up happening, plus the fact that the hammer turned out to be where it was. First of all, what was your thoughts when you found the hammer there in Swamp? What was your thoughts in regards to your positioning in the race?
So I was concerned about like I had thought about this before I found hammer, actually, because I can do the Dragon escape without gravity, no problem, as long as I have Spring Ball and Grapple, and I didn't have Spring Ball for a while, and then I finally found Boots really late and felt pretty bad about that, and then immediately found Spring Ball, so I was like, okay, I'm a hammer away from go mode, but I think I should still just check some of the free checks here in Swamp, in case I find gravity. Turns out, you know, it was the freest of all.
Hello, gravity,
Yeah.
guaranteed gravity suit.
You see, Rick, I told you he was in go mode as soon as he found hammer.
Yeah, but, you know, gravity suit guaranteed at this point. Next, obviously, question is, you got Boots an hour later than Duck. Duck sequence broke them and had them for a good long time. You just mentioned that you did not feel really good about getting the Boots as late as you did. Did you feel like you were behind because of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, those were available quite early, and I thought about making the play. Like, we had Flute, so it was pretty free to be able to do the fake flippers once you got Pearl. So, you know, like, once you got out of Super Metroid, you can make that play pretty much immediately, assuming you did direct ship, which it was logical to just do SM as much as possible in the seed, honestly, and certainly paid off. So, once I found them, I was like, well, something's got to be in a real dumb spot, or, you know, he has to have missed something, but I don't know what that thing would have been, because pretty much had to go everywhere in SM to get all the things you needed, so I was feeling behind. I didn't think I didn't think I could make gambles, though. Like, I felt like I should still route cleanly and just play the way I like to play, which is, for the most part, just play conservatively and check everything.
And the way that you like to play earned you a berth into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, speaking of conservatively, the screw attack pickup.
Yeah, how about that? Well,
Lower North Fair.
What caused you to want to pick up screw attack?
I figured it would just help my movement a lot. I didn't have high jump, which I immediately found after doing LN, which is pretty sad. And so I was like, I think this is actually probably gonna save me some time. And then, like, immediately I lose like 6 E-tanks of health in the room prior. I'm just like, okay, well, this is probably a wash at this point. I know I had plasma and plenty of ammo and speed booster to do fast pillars and all that stuff, but I just figured it was the safe play, and I tend to play somewhat conservatively, so I thought, you know what, why don't I go pick this up? It probably costs me like a minute or so, and it'll probably just speed up my routing, you know, through the LN escape, and even, you know, getting to Ridley in the first place. And I think it did.
apathyduck was skipping Link to the Past safeties left and right early on, but then it turned out that Super Metroid was the game where he needed more energy.
And then this game gave you a whole lot of energy early on, too. One other pickup that you made in Lower Norfair that we wanted to get your idea about, what was the idea behind picking up the bombos in Lower Norfair?
We hadn't done Ice Palace, so I was like, we'll see. That was really all that there was to it. It was a quick pickup at the time, but I was like, eh.
Oh, well, I want to ask, at what point did you stop to think that Pod was in Logic?
I knew it was, but, you know, routing to Hype Cave felt like a priority over the long trek to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah,
so,
if we're not mistaken, this was a logically required Aghanim.
Mm-hmm.
The flippers in Palace of Darkness. And
what? You don't just go through Stootless Meridia to... Just kidding.
I mean, I didn't know about this this current jump, and I probably will learn it now. If I'm in this situation and I have to choose between Suitless Meridia and Aghanim, I probably do Suitless Meridia. Although I would have found nothing.
Well, Grapple was actually on the pyramid, so it probably would have been pretty difficult.
Sorry to just interrupt here, but let's go ahead and get our GGs in the chat. apathyduck has finished off with the seed, crossing the finish line with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 57 minutes, and 30 seconds. Yeah, that current jump was very, very nice. It was a trick so nice that we got to see it twice from apathyduck, and he'll be joining us in just a moment.
Got to see it twice. Interesting.
Yeah, another thing that caused a little bit of separation between you two was a little bit of portal shenanigans from apathyduck, and we'll get some explanations from him once he gets in here as
Sounds good.
well. Did you ever think at any point in this race that you may actually be in a head position?
I thought early game, you know, everything was working out great, and if apathy, I mean, I felt like it was almost like a certainty that staying in Super Metroid and checking everything was the correct decision. It just felt like it was. to me,
And-
just because
and-
of everything we had. We had Speed Booster, and we got Varia and stuff. But the game gave us Hookshot and Varia Suit really early. And so I was thinking maybe apathyduck skips Wreck Ship and, ends up routing Norfair and Death Mountain, and that can be an advantage for me. So I was like, I feel like I'm doing everything right here. I got this Moon Pearl and this Red Cane and this Ether, and like everything was lining up pretty nicely going through SM. But I assume he probably just routed the same.
Actually, we did have that little bit of a routing difference at around the 30-minute mark. As we do welcome in Apathy Duck, can you hear us?
Yeah, GG.
GG.
So at the around 30-minute mark, you went to do Wreck Ship, Alucard, and Apathy Duck wound up doing the early Death Mountain check where the first glove as well as the mirror was. And it took a while for the routes to kind of converge together.
Interesting, because that wasn't my first glove. So
Yeah, your first
Yeah.
glove was on Krakomeyer.
exactly. But I mean, that made sense. The game gave us Hookshot. Like you take your Hookshot to EDM.
First thing I do want to ask. First thing I do want to ask about Ask Duck is regarding the hula hand and then finding out the hobo had 300 rupees for you.
I mean, it happens. I mean, there's 316 items. Like, I'm not gonna bank on there being money in path there.
And that's
Yeah, I mean,
understandable.
it's one of those eye roll moments, you know.
It's one of those ones you just got to shrug off and laugh off.
Yep.
What was with you skipping the Link to the Past safeties and hearts early on, Duck?
I mean, I don't need, generally don't need them, so it takes time to pick them up.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't die, I guess
Yeah,
It
turns
doesn't
out what
matter.
I needed,
you don't need
turns out
them.
what I needed was
Take
high
your
jump boots. Or I guess I should have gotten screw attack. I don't know. Like, it really got away from me, and I took an ass ton of damage on that, and then I forgot I had movement on the way out. Ended up KOing through the platform, and of course that's exactly when my reserve. I was gonna pop my reserves like right after that anyway.
Yeah, and
With plasma, like getting out of lower Norfair is not an issue, especially with full beam. Like
The combination of having speed booster and not high jump boots, you will
Yeah,
never hear
it's-
runners stop complaining about that.
Yeah, the people who play low speed are insane.
Like, honestly, low speed has kind of two hurdles. There's the versus low ice, at least. There's the extra 100 shots you need for Ridley and Mother Brain, and then there's the not having high jump boots with the nerf to jump height from Speed Booster. And I think that's worse than actually having the drawn out Mother Brain fight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably should have just turned off speed. Like, getting the jumps on the swoops is like
Yeah.
impossible with speed and high jump, and like
Lower
Yeah,
North
like, it
Fair
was-
actually like Amphitheater, the room, the big giant room with the rising acid. That is
Yeah.
a terrible room to have speed booster and not high jump boots. And I have fallen in that room. and-
oh yeah, like it's just, I mean, or just high jump without, or space jump without high jump also is awful. Which you don't even see that in any of the vanilla categories, and you have to deal with it here, and it's just
Let's make
the
one.
absolute. No, it's not. Cross, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, let's do low percent X space.
Jesus.
3% no high jump. Like,
Oh, that exists. I promise you that exists. One of the, I don't know, I'm sure Cross knows, one of the bizarre low percent categories doesn't get high jump, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure
there's
Cross knows, correct.
There's low percent X ice where you get X-ray and ice beam, and you don't get gravity suit. That's, I think that is that was a leaderboard on Deer Tier that had two entrants. It had Eternized Dragon and Matric. Not the Crystallis Matric, the other Matric from Super Metroid. Had two times on it. Matrix second place time was like 12 hours. That's low percent excise. And low. There's also low percent ice boots where you've got ice beam and high jump boots and no gravity suit. But I would run that, but there are two caveats to that. One, it's PAL only because high jump boots actually work better in PAL version. So I don't really feel like playing on PAL because it's slower overall. And the other thing, you need an angle down button to do category because you have to stand on the ledge in Dragon's room and shoot down at him.
You don't play with angle down?
Nah.
Gross. What are you doing?
Hey,
All right.
Behemoth
The rest
does
of the interviews,
Behemoth-
is going to be cross talking about dashless. So
especially when I do RBO runs, which I use dashless tech in my RBO run as well as didn't have angle down to farm in Lower Norfair. So it's the worst of both worlds, you know.
I watched your RBO run in the multi-category. I'm like, what are you? What is happening?
It was a fun route.
It was different. I'll give you that.
Any final thoughts about the seed or your upcoming match, Alucard?
We're not talking about the first chest in Swamp? What's going on here?
The dream. We did talk about that. I said
dream.
you chose fast over fun and got neither.
True.
That was-
I won 50-50 on that one though. I
Oh,
still
yeah,
had X-ray. Yeah.
Apathy did check X-ray actually, so yeah. So I know you just want to avoid talking about your upcoming match. Do you know who you're racing? I'm guessing you do because you don't want to talk about it.
I mean, we were just playing here to see who loses in the next round. So no, I'm kidding. I mean, Aussie's great, but I mean, I think I have a shot. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm the favorite, but
I think if you got this seed against Aussie, knowing that you'd have to take some risks and make up some extra time, you might have actually gotten the hammer and swamp and won. Maybe.
Just with where flippers were, it was just not convenient to make that.
As long as there's not another hour gap between when one person picks up the boots and the other person picks up the boots.
Right.
Any final words, Apathy?
All the thoughts I have can't be said on speed gaming. So,
Well, is there anything you want to say to the admin and the crew as you make your exit out of this tournament?
no, like Cross isn't an admin in this one, so no, I think I'm good. Just yeah, I mean, thanks for putting it on. Like, I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to run these things, so we got to deal with all the people screaming. So shout outs to anyone who organizes the tournament because it's a lot of work.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Shout outs to Miss Metroid, the main organizer of the SMZ3 1v1 tournament. Thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting us, Minded Me for the restream, Siriu for the tracking, Rank1.global for the prize pool. And I'm going to let my co-commentator, Adirondack Rick, go over the schedule one more time and say goodnight.
Also, thanks to you guys for doing comms.
I didn't do nothing. All I did was tell you to go to Tile Room, and you didn't listen.
All this time, he was trying to tell you to go to
Time?
Speaking of time, we hope you can join us tomorrow in about, let's see, that would be 20 hours from now. We have our first of our quarterfinals in the SMZ3 tournament, Pizza versus Ivan, going to be over on SpeedGaming 2. Coming up in 3 days after that, at 8:10 p.m. is going to be Maniacal versus Solski, and then after versus Dragon Dark. And at some point in time, we'll see Alucard versus Aussie pop up onto the schedule. I do want to thank Cross Product for coming to me and asking me to come and do commentary with them because this has been a lot of fun. This has been a great way to spend 3 hours.
Same.
And also special thanks to both of our runners. Great runners here, Alucard, apathyduck. Be sure to give them follows. Give them your support. How about one more round of GGs for both of these runners? And with that, also special thanks to SaberUX, as you mentioned before, clicking those buttons. And thank you for everyone joining us here on Speed Gaming 2. We hope that you have yourself a good night, and we'll catch you next mission.
Catch you next mission. Bye.